help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its head-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.
Oh no, I just hit that post and my car's got a dent.
Uh-oh, better get Mako.
Oh yeah? Where are they?
Mako is America's body shop. They're the world's largest provider of paint and collision services. They're located at 212 Western Avenue in Carpentersville, across from Spring Hill Mall. I've used them. Check out my car.
Wow, looking good.
Everything was so easy and affordable. Hummer and staff were super friendly and really knew their stuff.
I'm gonna call them now.
Mention WRMN 1410 at the Carpentersville Mako and receive 10% off today.
What's the best way to get rid of a timeshare that you don't want? Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline. We're a group of attorneys that help customers legally exit their timeshares. It's an easy process. We guarantee results or you pay nothing. Exit your timeshare today. Call now.
800-890-5957. 800-890-5957. That's 800-890-5957.
Welcome to Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. I'm your host, Tammy Scully. I am going to be here with my sidekick, Mary Corbett, on the horn from, well, not even a horn. You're on the internet. You're on the internet from Scottsdale, Arizona, sunny Scottsdale, Arizona today. And how's the weather out there, Miss Mary?
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, I just saw a report on Scottsdale about it being the most number of over 100 days in history. Like, yeah, it's big time global warming going on out there in the I don't know, west, southwest. Are you considered southwest? Yeah, I guess you are.
I'm in the desert, baby.
You are in the desert for sure. How was your flight home? Mary was in town for a wedding over the weekend, but she had to skedaddle back.
Nice.
Or we would have made her come into the studio if she was around. Although she's a little opposed to this platform, I think, just a little.
I know.
That's okay.
I can't wait to be back in the studio. If I would have planned better,
you could get back on that horse.
Life was up in the air, so I was like, But yeah, no, flight back was good. The Southwest thing with the boarding and everything, there's always a little anxiety there if you're going to be able to make it with your your carry-on.
There's all of that. Yeah, what number were you? Did you have to check in on Southwest?
I was 7 minutes late on checking in.
Oh, you're at the end, girlfriend. You might as well be at the end.
Yeah, I was not too bad.
Were you B?
B39.
Okay, that's not too bad. Were you?
So Elle and I couldn't sit together, but
why? Because by the time you got on there were no two seats together.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I watched, what the heck did I watched the movie Elvis.
I've seen that one too.
Normally I sleep, but I was like, all right, let me put this baby on. It was good.
Yeah, it was plane worthy, I think. I think I saw Elvis on a plane too. No, I saw it with my mom in the theater while she was snoring. She does. Like the credits, boom, she's out. Like or the beginning, like when they start, like showing you who's in the movie. Yeah, boom, she's gone. It's like
it's like
$20 nap for my mom. That's what movies were. Good. Well, did you like the Elvis movie? You said it was okay. Audio's gone. Can't hear Miss Mary. Do you have a button you can
Let me
push?
double check here.
What happened?
There you go.
You want to talk again?
Yeah, I was trying to, because I got this handy little thing.
Oh, yeah. How do you like it?
Your Amazon. Well, I was trying to turn the volume up and then cut me off. So I'll wait to the break to mess with
Do
it.
you have a microphone on it?
It does.
Put it down, will you? Oh, it's down there. I thought it was on your face.
You can clip it.
Clip it up.
You can clip it here.
Better.
But I don't think it's working right now because, it's not working right now. So I'm going to mess with it on the break.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds like a plan, Stan. You can hear us good, though, right?
I can hear you great. So
right.
To answer your question, what did I think about the movie? I felt very, very sorry for Elvis. Boy.
Oh, well, that movie, they did it from the point of view of the manager, general, or what did they call that guy? Doc? Was he a doc? You know who I'm
Colonel,
talking?
maybe?
Colonel, that's it. The Colonel guy. And he was kind of they portrayed him not to be a very nice man. He was, taking advantage of Elvis and, blah, 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 according to that movie.
All about himself.
Right. I'm sure, that they're, when people become famous, there are people who take advantage of them all over the place. Hey, did you know that we have a phone number you can call? It's 847-931-1410. That's the number if you want to call and chat with us. Now, we're doing a little funny thing here. Mary and I are watching a series. You can watch along with us, kind of like a book club, but a video club. You can watch along with us, and then we're going to talk about it next week. We're watching it's called Monsters, right? Is it just straight up Monsters? It's on Netflix, and it is the Menendez brothers' tale. We thought we'd watch that because it's kind of relevant right now. The Menendezes are, they're the brothers, if you haven't heard of them, they're the brothers who killed their parents in California in the 80s. Very, very wealthy. The dad was an RCA record executive. And the mom was apparently a lush. I don't know. Oh, there they are. A happy little family. Ooh, and is that the real picture?
That's not the real one.
No, I was like, wait, that doesn't look like them. That is from the movie, yeah. Yep. That guy, is that the dad? Is he, I don't know if it tells you.
Yep.
Is that
Javier?
No, Javier? Is that his name, Javier?
Hold on.
I'll have to double. Let me look on the
see
the cast list, IMDb.
Yes, we'll see where he's from because he
Javier Bardem.
Oh, okay, that's not who I thought it was. Yeah. He plays a good mean dad in there, but he gets his little face blown off, unfortunately. It's not very pretty. But we're going to watch that movie. So if anybody wants to watch that with us, watch it with us, and we'll talk about it next week, probably Monday or Wednesday next week. Which one you want to do? Will you have it watched by Monday? I'm going to be out of town, so maybe Wednesday. You want to do it Wednesday?
Same. I'm going to the Eagles in Vegas.
Oh, how fun! That's this weekend?
It is.
You had a girlfriend who went.
Monday I will be on the air, but I think Wednesday would be better for us to do that.
Okay, let's do it Wednesday, all right? So if you want to watch the movies with us, it's an 8-part series. We're on part 3, I think. And so we're going to watch it. Nancy's going to watch it. She might join us. I don't know about Rebecca, but we'll see. And then we'll all have like a book club, but it's a video club, and we can all talk about, here's some pretty pictures.
Yeah, there's the real one.
That is the real one. Look at the difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Wow. That's crazy. It's crazy. Once you watch the series, you'll see that, and then you'll go like, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It's interesting. I mean, and there's some complaints from the people that it's about, that it isn't accurate, blah, blah, blah. You're always going to get it. But, whatever. If anybody wants to watch it with us, have at it. It's Netflix, 8-part series. By next Wednesday, we'll put it on the agenda for next Wednesday, and we'll review that, okay?
Perfect.
Now, we have a text line. If you're interested in texting us, it is sponsored by Image 360, our friends over at Image 360 in South Elgin. It is 505-926-1410. That's 505-926-1410. It's the text line, Image 360 text line. If you want to text us anything at all, That's the place to do it. During the show, you can text us. Now, we don't have access to it right here the way we're set up now, but Matt is in here, or Sona, who's ever producing, they have access to it, and they'll tell us if there's any messages on it or anything like that, as well as if you'd like to watch us. Yes, you can. I know it's radio, but guess what? It's got a little twist to it. If you want to watch us, you can go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and then / WRMN Radio, and you will find us. And here we are. You can see us, our shiny, happy little faces. Sometimes we talk about things. Look, all of us, say hi. Sometimes we talk about things, and we're looking at a picture of something, and we'll tell you, it's on the screen. I know most of you are in your cars or on a radio somewhere, but we've got a good number of folks who are either on their app, or I know that fly is making me nuts, or on their app, or that are on their computer, or can watch us on YouTube at their leisure. And those are archived, by the way, so you can look back at old ones if you want. Another way you can get Talk Time with Tammy is you can download our podcast. Yep. Go to any place you get a podcast, Spotify. I think we're on Apple now, if I'm not mistaken. It took a minute to get into Apple, but I believe we're on Apple. Any place you get your Spotify's, search Talk Time with Tammy and Friends, and voila, there we are. You can catch up on any of our old episodes that you'd like to listen to, because I know we're amusing every now and then. We amuse ourselves, so that's all that's all that really matters. No, not really. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. Oh, you know what we're going to talk about? Pickleball. We're going to talk a little bit about pickleball.
Yay!
I've talked to people, a lot of people who've heard of pickleball, doesn't really know what it is, not really understanding, it's just why is all these people talking about pickleball? Why are all these flies in here? There's like 3 flies in here. They're making me insane.
Here's the
That's what I want.
microphone.
That's exactly what you need. You sound much better into that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, much better, Mary. Much better right now.
Okay, so
Light
I'm not
years
a
better.
techie person, obviously.
No,
I
no.
thought this was it.
No, that's how you answer calls or stop it or whatever, that kind of stuff. That might be where you turn up your volume too, maybe. I don't know. You have to look at it.
Maybe.
Yeah, you sound much better. I mean, much
Okay,
better.
good,
Yes.
good.
Doesn't she?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Your echo is gone, so you sound. That's your answer right there. It looks good, and it looks nice, young lady. It looks nice.
All ready for to discuss monsters next.
Yes, you are.
And pickleball right now.
We are going to talk about pickleball right now. So pickleball, as I was saying, is okay. So I'm a fan. Just so you know, I play 3, 4, 5 days a week. I'd play more if I could, but you got to do other things. You got to do other things in life, so you can't always play pickleball. Pickleball is my happy place, man. I love it. It's super fun. It's social. I mean, what else do you want? You don't have to be, you should see some people I play with. They are not athletic in any sense of the word. All you have to do is, it's about placement. And it's not like ping pong. So here, let's go back. I'm digressing. Pickleball is played either inside or outside. If you're playing it outside, I prefer it outside. It is a portion of a tennis court. So it's not the entire tennis court. And you play it usually with doubles, if 2 people on each side. If you have 1 person on each side, it's really, really hard to cover that whole court. And so the best way to play it is to have teams. One person on, 2 people on one side, 2 people on the other side. The court is divided up. We have a little picture of it here for you. There is a pickleball court. Down the center is the net. The net is not very tall. I'm going to read this spec to you in a second. The court is, I believe it's 7 feet from the net to the pickle line. That first line is called a no volley line or a pickle line. That's the kitchen. If you've ever heard of the kitchen in pickleball, it's that red part right there. And it means you cannot go in it unless the ball bounces in it. Your foot cannot touch inside that right there with a little yellow arrow showing you. You can't step in there unless the ball bounces in there first. That's number 1 rule of pickleball. Don't go in the kitchen. Don't step in the kitchen. You serve the ball diagonally cross court. Only the server can score. The serving team can score. So if the receiving team misses the ball, serving team gets the point. But if they return the ball and the serving team misses the ball, the other team doesn't get the point. the other server comes up. So here, let me explain just basic stuff. Let's talk about where it began, because there seems to be some controversy.
Oh.
Do you know where it came from?
If I was to guess, I would say England.
No, it was, I want to say Connecticut. It was invented in 1965 as a children's backyard game in the United States on Bainbridge Island, Washington. Sorry, wrong coast. Washington State. In 2022, pickleball was named the official state sport of Washington. Go figure. I didn't know they had a state sport. So it's a racket or a paddle sport. We use paddles. We don't call them rackets. And if you call them racket, you get a lot of grief for it.
Get sent to the kitchen.
Yeah, you got to go to the kitchen
No food.
and cook. You got to go cook. 4 players or doubles. It's a smooth paddle. The ball. Let's see. What else do we have? Aspects of the sport resemble tennis and table tennis, but pickleball has specific rules, paddles, and court dimensions. So like we talked about, those are the dimensions of the court. The kitchen that you can't go in is 7 feet. You can go in there if the ball bounces. Well, you got to remember that. That's really hard to remember. The rules specify side-out scoring, which means only the server scores, the limited bounce, non-volley zones, and underhanded strokes, with which all serves are made, combined with hard drive shots and overhead smash shots, give the game a dynamic pace. Okay, they can give the game a dynamic pace. There's different ways to play it. The best way to play pickleball ever is I play with mixed all the time, men, women, whatever. And these dudes like to slam it at you as hard as they can slam that little ball. The ball is a wiffle ball. It's like a wiffle ball. It's a little hard ball with a bunch of holes in it. If you play outside, the ball's got more holes. If you play inside, the ball's got fewer holes. The way you play inside, by the way, is on a gym floor. That's how everybody plays around here. They have a gym floor, church floor, whatever, a hard surface floor, and the lines are taped on there that you can play inside. The net is portable, and you set up your kitchen, and away you go. The ball has different. You can have different, all the same size, but it's a little hard wiffle ball. Let's see. According to, no, we don't want any of that. When Pritchard, a guy named Pritchard and Bell, they went golfing one Saturday afternoon in 1965, and they came home and their families were bored. They had attempted to set up badminton, but no one could find the shuttlecock, that thing that you hit in badminton that looks kind of like a bird, got the rubber on the bottom. Yeah, they couldn't find that thing. So Pritchard and Bell challenged their kids to devise their own game. The adults and kids ended up at the badminton court and began experimenting with different balls and rackets, including table tennis paddles. The 5-foot badminton net was eventually lowered to hip height to accommodate a driving ball. Initially, a wiffle ball was used or thought to be the ideal ball, but later the Cosum Fun Ball was found to be more durable and provided a better playing experience. Table tennis paddles were quickly replaced with larger, more durable plywood paddles fabricated in a nearby shed. Well, we've come a long way from that one. McCollum continued to experiment with various paddle designs in his father's Seattle basement workshop. One paddle he called the M2 or McCallum 2 because the paddle of choice for most early players of the game. Oh, it became the paddle of choice. Yeah, I didn't use that one. 1967, the first outdoor pickleball court was constructed at the residence of Pritchard's friend, Bob O'Brien. Soon after its creation, pickleball became popular with local neighbors and relatives of the inventors. This is in 1968. Pritchard, I know, it is crazy, along with McCullum's son David and 2 other friends, formed Pickleball Inc. The company filed its first annual report in 1972. Around the same time, they trademarked the name Pickleball. The company manufactured wooden paddles and pickleball kits to satisfy the demand for the sport. Interest in pickleball continued to grow, the spread of from the Pacific Northwest into warmer areas as snowbirds brought the sport south to Arizona, California, Hawaii, and Florida. In 2016, Pickleball Inc. was purchased by PickleballCentral.com, which operates under the corporate name Ala LLC. So they have tournaments all over the country. Let's see, the 2023 report by the Sports and Fitness Industry Association states that pickleball has grown by 87.5% year over year and 158.6% over 3 years. The report also states that 8.9 million people played pickleball in 2022. And the number of new participants in 2022 exceeded the total number of pickleball players in 2021. Just the new guys were more than the old guys. Yeah, Matt's got some paddles and balls up there for you to look at, which shows the meteoric rise of the sport. It's been, you would think it was just invented. Nobody thought it was invented in 1968. Let me see. There was something about the name I wanted to find for you. Hold on. Order of play. Because they used to, I heard a lot of different things about, like, who named it. And I found a really good explanation on here of where the name came from. They used to, there's rumors out there that it was the dog, that family's dog was named Pickles, so they named it after that. And the reality of it is the wife of this guy was a rower in boats. And if you had a boat that had a single rower with only one guy instead of two or more, it was called a pickle, or they were in the pickle. And so she liked that idea, so it came from her to call it pickleball, and then they got the dog and named the dog Pickles after it.
Interesting.
I know, it's kind of wacky. So the point of the game is to score points from serving cross court, and then you have your opponent return it. And then you keep volleying and playing back and forth until somebody can't hit it anymore. If you were the serving team, you get a point. There's two servers on every team. So if the first guy serves and you lose the point, it's the second guy's turn. He tries to get a point, and then if neither one of them can get it, side out, it goes to the other side, and they can try and get points.
Oh,
so it's back and forth.
Cool.
It does get my heart rate up. It does get your heart rate up. I think it's a fabulous sport for getting people out there, getting them interested, and doing something fun. You don't have, like, I'm going to say it loud, say it proud, you don't have to be an athlete, because I am so far from an athlete. But you can play, have fun. It's social. I've got, lots of friends that, you make on the pickleball court that, it's fun, and you have some pickle pals. I call them my pickle pals. We have lots of pickle pals. And, it's a really nice way to get some activity, because you got to do something. You can't do nothing. And the older we get, the more something you got to do. Yes, ma'am. What, you're raising your hand?
I need Dear Tammy.
Yes. Oh, I got a Dear Tammy. Hold on. We got a Dear Tammy coming in. Go for it.
Dear Tammy, you seem to be very well versed on pickleball. Mm-hmm. Back from its original origin up to your commitment, even with the plantar fasciitis for playing pickleball. No, seriously though. So I was scrolling through my phone the other day, and there is a new pickleball place coming, and I could sign up for founding pricing. Now, I did download the app, and it looks like there's one in Naperville, but it's called the Pickler, and it's coming to North Scottsdale.
It's a new one.
So it's like $139 a month. Is
what?
That? Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Should I look for the Park District?
Good point, Mary. I'm glad you brought that up. Don't go to these crazy places. I mean, you can go there and have fun. There are pickleball bars, and they have a lot of them in Nashville. They just opened a new rooftop one last time I was down there. They have a lot of pickleball bars, which to me, drinking and pickleball, kind of, you can drink after pickleball, but if you drink before pickleball, it's not going to go so well. Oh, well, maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe you're really good at drinking and hitting balls. Not me. Anyway, I think that go outside, find a park, do it for free. I mean, that's a good question. How do I start?
Okay.
How do I learn pickleball?
Yes,
Where do
how
I
do I start?
You look at your local park district. They all have classes. We've got a great guy right here in Hoffman Estates. I just came from him. I just spent an hour on lessons with. I still do like drills and lessons and stuff. Great guy right here in Hoffman Estates at the Park District. All the Park Districts, I mean all of them now, have some type of pickleball courses, beginners. Get out there. Just get out there, show up.
Okay.
And most of these park districts, they also have the paddles, so you don't even have to buy a paddle. Just show up, use their paddle, and try it. You know, start learning the game, and then away you go from there. Well, I think once you play, I mean, it's fun. It's just really fun.
I mean, I think I'll love it, but that's really good advice, Tammy, because I was like, wait, why would I sign up for a membership?
Yeah, no.
If I haven't even played yet.
No, you gotta go to a park district or take a lesson.
Okay.
The park districts will have guys that will just do private lessons on the side. They're not expensive. All right, you research that. We'll be back after this. Don't go away.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Cintas. Kane County is calling on residents to play a hands-on role in the democratic process by serving as election judges for the upcoming general election on November 5th. Clerk John A. Cunningham emphasizing the vital part these judges play in ensuring elections are run efficiently. Find out more by contacting the clerk's office. The Geneva City Council looking out for a new Ward 5 alderperson after Craig Maladra's resignation last month. Residents of the 5th Ward who meet a stringent criteria are eligible to apply for this civic role by this Friday. Applications must include a letter of interest and a statement of economic interest submitted to the city clerk. In Batavia, former City Alderman Dan Chanzit facing charges related to the possession of multiple drugs. The 48-year-old was arrested at his residence on Peebles Court with authorities charging him with possession of methamphetamine, ecstasy, and psilocybin. Despite the charges, Chanzit claims that the drugs were not his, but belonged to two individuals staying in his home. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Cintas. The Geneva City Council looking out for a new Ward 5 alderperson after Craig Maladra's resignation last month. Residents of the 5th Ward who meet a stringent criteria are eligible to apply for this civic role by this Friday. Applications must include a letter of interest and a statement of economic interest submitted to the city clerk. In Batavia, former City Alderman Dan Chanzit facing charges related to the possession of multiple drugs. The 48-year-old was arrested at his residence on Peebles Court with authorities charging him with possession of methamphetamine, ecstasy, and psilocybin. Despite the charges, Chanzit claims that the drugs were not his, but belonged to two individuals staying in his home. Kane County is calling on residents to play a hands-on role in the democratic process by serving as election judges for the upcoming general election on November 5th. Clerk John A. Cunningham emphasizing the vital part these judges play in ensuring elections are run efficiently. Find out more by contacting the clerk's office. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbor's dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
Welcome back. You're listening to Little Girl Talk right here on Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. This is Fox Valley Afternoons. Welcome in, everyone. It is, I keep looking at that clock. I need this. Sorry, I need my other clock over here. It's 2:34 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, a lovely Wednesday, right here in Fox River Valley. And we've got some fabulous weather. It's still nice out. I had to turn the heat on, though. I have to tell you, I had to turn the heat on last night. It's making a funny noise too. I need to check that out. Yeah, I don't like that. We didn't have the heat on when you guys were here, but it got 46. I think it was a little warmer last night, but tonight it's gonna go up to 71 and sunny. It's lovely, crisp out there. It's fall, y'all. And then it's going down to 46 tonight. That's when you need the heat. It's getting a little cold. And then tomorrow, another beautiful day, 73 and sunny out there. Tomorrow night, we're going down to 48. And then Friday, high of 83 degrees and sunny. It's like summer for cry eye. Lovely, lovely day on Friday. I hope everybody gets outside and uses that, because that's probably going to be your last 80-degree day around these parts for a bit, I'm going to say. And then Friday night, 55 degrees is your low happening there. Saturday, mostly cloudy and a stray shower or thunderstorm. Boy, could we use that. It has been very dry. It's a 24% chance of precipitation at this point. The sunset on Saturday the 12th is going to be at 6:15 p.m. So getting darker earlier and earlier. Going to boo. I know, boo hiss, boo. Going down to 46 degrees, partly cloudy on Saturday night, and then Sunday, football day, mostly cloudy skies, cooler, high with 65 degrees there. Sunday night is cold, a low of 40 degrees on Sunday night. Get this, Monday, a high of 56. So the bottom drops out on Monday. Your actual high is in the 50s for the first time in a very long time. 56 is the high, and the low, Monday night, 34 degrees. So cover up your plants if you've got them out there, if you want to keep them. It's not going to stay in the 30s at night, except for Tuesday, high of 56 and a few afternoon clouds. And then Tuesday night, another low of 31. You're going to definitely need to cover up. If you've got mums and stuff and you want to keep them around for a while, throw a little sheet on them overnight so that they can take the cold weather. And then Wednesday, 60 degrees for a high, and that low is 37, another cold night. You should be okay. You should be able to take the sheet off by then of your mums, your poor mums. And then a high of 66 on Thursday with a low of 42. So we're coming out of it, but you got a couple days there. It's going to be really cold around here at night. So get your heater working. I gotta get my furnace working. It's working. It's just making a funny noise. I don't know. It's a husband.
I have a question for you, Tammy. Did you end up getting all your crops harvested?
No, I gotta go. I just told my pickle pals I'm gonna bring them all some more. I have so many tomatoes. I can't even tell you how many tomatoes I have. I have so many tomatoes. So, and yes, I have to harvest some more. And they're still green. Like they better turn another color before it gets down to 34. I'm in trouble. We're going to have that garden ripped out before then too, I think. But I'm going to be in Nashville, so it won't be me ripping it out. I just want to let the record show. It's probably going to be my daughter. She's going to have to probably pull some of that stuff out of there. Or I could just let the dogs. The dogs were walking around chewing on cucumbers today.
Yes, they were.
They plucked them right out of the garden because somebody didn't put the gate back on. And they were playing like catch with a with a cucumber. I'm hoping I think dogs can eat cucumbers because they're doing it. Let me just tell you. They're in my backyard eating some cucumbers.
You have to teach them how to like gingerly take like the tomatoes off and then like
bring them in.
Put them in a basket.
Yeah, I like it.
Bring 'em in.
Yeah, right. With their slobbery slobbers. We're watching our son's doodle right now. So we've got. We've got 4 dogs now and a cat. There's a lot of it. Mary was just there. We had 4 dogs, a cat, and some guests for the weekend. A lot of activity with the critters.
It was great with those little critters.
But the good news is the cat has come down from the upstairs. She came down and hung out on the table and meowed for her treats and everything. So she's getting used to having. Huxley, the one that belongs to my son, he is a big Bernedoodle. He could rest his head on this table if he wanted to. He is fascinated with the cat, wants nothing but to play with her, and she thinks he wants to eat her. So she's stressed. She's like whacking him upside the head with full claws. Like he still doesn't get it. He's just fascinated by her. So hopefully they'll get along because I'm not there. Who knows what's happening when I'm not there? God only knows what goes on when I'm not there. Let's talk a little bit about News Nation, shall we? We've got a News Nation clip coming our way. Sonar is back at the controls over here, and he is looking for a clip, something that we could talk about that News Nation has produced for us, and we're going to look and see what we have. What do you got?
About 23% of Florida's gas stations are out of gas as Hurricane Milton inches closer to the Gulf Coast. Senior petroleum analyst with GasBuddy.com, Patrick DeHaan, says most of the outages are small stations in the direct line of the storm. But he says there are no major refineries or gas line infrastructure in the line of the storm.
Most Americans probably will not see any impact from this in terms of supply. Prices, however, have started to inch up, but it's not due to the storm itself. It's due to the fact that oil prices last week did climb about $10 a barrel.
Really?
He blames Middle East tensions for that increase.
So they're saying that the prices aren't going up because of the hurricane. They're going up because of but they're not going up everywhere, are they?
Because of they're starting to creep everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that I get. But the problem of supply is huge down there. I mean, how do they fix that? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, how do they bring it in? I have no idea. Nancy, who was on with us yesterday, was telling us about a friend who is stranded. Literally, she can get one tank of gas, and that's all she can get. So,
wow.
I know, she can't get out. So this is supposed to hit at what, today? At 1?
Thursday at 2 a.m.
Oh, it keeps moving. Yeah. It slowed down to a 4, I heard.
Yes.
And it looks like it's going to be a 3 when it hits and a 2 when it comes out on the other side. Oh, my gosh, but that's going to be awful from across.
And that's right on top of Orlando, where that 2 is sitting there.
Is Mickey buckled in? I don't know.
I hope so.
He's going for a ride. I don't know.
And this is supposed to be stronger than when Charlie hit through that area as well.
When was that? How long ago was that, Charlie?
Oh my goodness. It's been a while. It's been at least 15 years, almost 20 years.
I don't know. I don't remember when that one was, but it looks like if you can see, I know most of you folks are driving or otherwise, but if you can see the screen, Sonar has put up a map of where it's going to hit and when and at what velocity. And it looks like it's going to travel across the state of Florida at a 3 or a 2, which would just be awful.
And that puts it at about 135 miles per hour wind when it hits Tampa. Should be about 100 miles per hour when it hits Orlando. And then it's supposed to come out the other side as a 1 and should start to die out as it hits more into the Atlantic.
So it curving back up is not
they haven't projected that.
Yeah.
But it's so large, everybody's going to get something from this.
Yeah, it looks like it. Now, are we going to get something? What happens next? After it goes through. So it's going to hit Thursday at 1. So I'm trying to plan out the remnants because we've got flights this weekend. Are we going to get anywhere? We're going down to Dallas. I'll make it fine. I'm going on Thursday. My husband's coming in on Saturday, but he may maybe get some remnants of that, as it kind of floats through the rest of the United States. Like that last one took forever to travel through the rest of the United States.
And what they're saying is the debris from the last one is now going to be projectiles for this one.
That's why you just got to get out of Dodge. Just let it go and get out of the way, and then come back and sweep it all up again. And what are you going to do with it? They didn't have enough dump trucks, and then so you take it to a landfill and you dump it at the landfill. You're not burying it yet. I mean, and all that's going to go flying somewhere. I mean, it's just if it's in the path of the destruction. I don't know. It doesn't sound fun. It's no fun at all, man. I have no desire. This is why I don't go to Florida too often. I have no desire to be involved in a hurricane. Like, not fun.
No, and then they got tornadoes this morning as well.
Yeah, I heard that after the hurricane on the land, then they have to start looking for tornadoes coming on the other side. Like, ugh.
Yeah, USA Today has a great report on that. Conditions worsen in Florida as Hurricane Milton landfall nears. And there's some live updates from that. But you're right, they have been talking about the tornadoes, tornadic supercells, dangerous rotating thunderstorms that can produce tornadoes were beginning to sweep across Florida peninsula. The update said more than 12 million people were under tornado warnings. And the National Weather Service in Miami said on social media it had up to 4 visually confirmed tornadoes with unofficial reports of others.
No basements, nowhere to go. I mean, where do you go? They don't have to. I guess some people have storm cellars, but I don't think a lot.
Not in Florida.
I mean, like they're just kind of like under the house, like old stuff, like old stuff. Tennessee, you'll see a handful of basements. Nobody's got basements down there. I mean, there's nowhere to, you just can't do it.
The first thing they said was to evacuate everybody who had a mobile home or somebody who had an RV or anybody who didn't have a structure. Was one of the first people to say, just get out of Dodge. Don't even worry about it.
No, I did see. So some people are some people don't have anywhere to go. They have to stay. So I did see some shelters. Like I saw a report about this single mom with her little baby who was like, a year old or whatever. And she had nowhere to go and didn't know where to go. And she didn't want to stay in her place. So she went to the shelter with the baby for the night to see, this was last night, to see, to write it out or whatever. So I guess she'll be there again tonight.
Yeah.
So, but what is the shelter? How do we know the shelter's not going anywhere? I mean, what is it? It's a gym. I don't know. What is it? I don't know.
A school or all kinds of things.
I mean, but the roofs come off of those pretty easy, too. I don't know. It's scary stuff. Get out of there. Come on up.
Yeah.
Come on up here. The weather's fine.
That's right. I reached out to some friends in various different parts of Florida. And one of the ones I reached out to last night, her and her husband moved down there not too long ago. And I just like, hey, are you guys, anywhere involved in the Milton thing? She said, yep. They have a house and then they also have an RV. She said, we are currently now in the parking lot of a casino in Miami with 30 other RVers.
Oh, wow.
I said, that sounds like fun. She goes, yep, we're making the most of it.
Wait, they're in a parking lot with a bunch of other RVs?
Yeah.
Well,
there's 30 other RVers.
But are they away? They moved. They drove away at least. Are they fine?
Yeah, they all drove away, and they're in Miami. So Miami is a place that a lot of people went to.
Okay.
So that's where they're at. They're in Miami and in a casino parking lot.
Okay. All right then. Got to do what you got to do. I would do that. Like, see, I think an RV is a fabulous way to get out of there. Take it with you. You can park it when you get far enough away. But the problem is the gas. Is there gas enough to get out of there? Yeah.
Theirs is a diesel, so there's definitely more diesel available than there is, obviously, regular petrol.
Right.
This is 6 hours ago.
Yeah.
They're still saying the wind currently is above 150, and it is huge. It's already throwing water all over Florida.
I mean, you can see it. Well, you can see it from space. Have you seen that photo of it from space? It's pretty phenomenal. Look, this isn't from space, but it's big. I mean, it's like you were saying yesterday. It's as big as it could be to fit in the Gulf. Like if it could be any bigger to fit in the Gulf of Mexico and get out of there. You know what I mean?
I mean, why can't they, and obviously there's probably a scientific reason, but they talk about the eye of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't they from above, blast it so it breaks up the eye of the storm?
It's
I
a couple
thought about
miles
that.
long, I think is what they're having trouble with, is how big that is.
Right, and have you seen those planes that fly in and out of it?
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who measure the velocity and blah blah blah.
I saw some videos on that yesterday.
I no thank you on that job, by the way.
Yeah, it has been brought up. Why can't we just nuke these hurricanes?
Well, nuke them? I don't know about nuking them. I mean, 'cause how would that work?
Oh, I don't know.
I
wasn't the one who brought it up.
But yeah, can you disrupt them? Oh, is there a way to disrupt them?
Yeah, without putting
just to break it up,
radioactive stuff. I don't know. It seems, gosh, we can do all sorts of things, and this is a reoccurring issue.
It's getting worse.
Somehow get it to slow down before,
global warming. What can I say? Well, it is October 9th in these parts. And do you know about what happened this day on October 9th in history with music? Let me tell you some birthdays today, by the way. October 9th is a very musical birthday date. Okay, ready? These are good ones. It is, today is John Lennon's birthday. He was born in 1940. It is John Entwistle's birthday. Do you know who he is? He's from The Who. He's in the band The Who. He was 1944. It's Jackson Browne's birthday. He was born in 1948. And then it's Sean Lennon's birthday. So John Lennon and Sean Lennon have the same birthday.
Interesting.
He was born in 1976, by the way, Sean Lennon. And then on this day in music, we're going to go with 1961, if I can find it. Don't go anywhere. 1961. We got a couple of good ones today. 1961, Ray Charles started a 2-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles chart with Hit the Road, Jack, written by the rhythm and blues singer Percy Mayfield. The song also gave Charles a #6 hit on the UK chart and won a Grammy Award for the best rhythm and blues recording, becoming one of Charles's signature songs. Here's Hit the Road, Jack.
What you say?
Hit the Road, Jack. 1961. I didn't know it was that old, but that's a great song from 1961. 1964 on this date, October 9th, the Beach Boys recorded Dance, Dance, Dance with Glenn Campbell playing the lead guitar intro. It would go on to become the 12th U.S. Top 40 hit. And then on 1965, the Beatles started a 4-week run on #1 with the U.S. singles chart with Paul McCartney his ballad Yesterday, giving the group their 10th U.S. #1 single. The track was not released as a single in the UK until 1976. For 65 they did it, and they didn't release it until 76. That seems weird. Huh, she said out loud. In 1969, for the first time in the history of the show, the BBC's Top of the Pops producers refused to air the #1 song by a French language singer by the name of Serge Gainsbourg and actress Jane Birkin. It's a couple that did this sultry song in French, and they refused to air it because it was too provocative. How about them apples? In 1971, The Who played a small, low-key show at the University of Surrey, Guildford, with guest John Sebastian joining in a harmonica on Magic Bus. The only outside musician ever to jam with The Who on stage. Really? I didn't know they didn't let outside musicians up there. Backstage, the group celebrated John Entwistle's 27th birthday in 1971. Also in 1971, Rod Stewart was at #1 on the UK singles chart with Maggie May, first released as a B-side to Reason to Believe. The first of 6 UK #1s for Stewart, spent 5 weeks at the top of the chart. Here's a little bit of Maggie May.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. It's late September and I really should be back at school. I know I keep you amused, but I feel I'm being used. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home just to save you from being alone. You stole my heart, and that's what really hurts. The morning sun, when it's in your face, really shows your age. But that don't worry me none. In my eyes, you're everything. I laughed at all of your jokes. My love, you didn't need to coax. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home just to save you from being alone. You stole my soul, and that's a pain I can do without. All I needed was a friend to lend a guiding hand. But you turned into a lover and mother. What a lover, you wore me out. All you did was wreck my bed, and in the morning kick me in the head. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home, 'cause you didn't want to be alone. You stole my heart, I couldn't leave you if I tried. I suppose I could collect my books and get on back to school, or steal my daddy's cue and make a living out of playing fool, or find myself a rock and roll band that needs a helping hand. Oh, Maggie, I wished I'd never seen your face. You made a first-class fool out of me, but I'm as blind as a fool can be. You stole my heart, but I love you anyway.
Maggie May. That's a classic, a total classic in our house anyway. That Maggie May stuff. I think the Day Drinker should give that one a try, but not a 5-minute version. The song goes for 5. All right, kids, we're going to take a quick break right here at the top of the hour, and we'll be back after these messages. Stick around.
Commute. WRMN 1410 AM is here for you, the faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
A recent Gallup poll indicated that 38% of Americans are putting off health care because of financial concerns, the highest ever recorded. I'm Dr. Bob Martin, here to serve you every Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. Millions of Americans are seeking health advice that will not cost an arm and a leg, so I offer health tips and advice absolutely free. Listen to my show, Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM, the voice of the Valley and the home of Radio Shopping Show.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 3 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Cintas. In Batavia, former City Alderman Dan Chanzit facing charges related to the possession of multiple drugs. The 48-year-old was arrested at his residence on People's Court, with authorities charging him with possession of methamphetamine, ecstasy, and psilocybin. Despite the charges, Chanzit claims that the drugs were not his, but belonged to 2 individuals staying in his home. Kane County is calling on residents to play a hands-on role in the democratic process by serving as election judges for the upcoming general election on November 5th. Clerk John A. Cunningham emphasizing the vital part these judges play in ensuring elections are run efficiently. Find out more by contacting the clerk's office. The Geneva City Council looking out for a new Ward 5 alderperson after Craig Maladra's resignation last month. Residents of the 5th Ward who meet a stringent criteria are eligible to apply for this civic role by this Friday. Applications must include a letter of interest and a statement of economic interest submitted to the city clerk. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Be sure to catch the first shift weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. for important information like fire tips from Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan.
The thing in the winter that we're more concerned with is carbon monoxide, because that we don't get in the summer. That carbon monoxide issues occur because of heating equipment. Anything that burns natural gas, if it is faulty, can generate high levels of carbon monoxide, which in time can be fatal. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of having carbon monoxide detectors in your home. Every single year you will see somewhere in the country, and usually we'll get 1 or 2 in the Chicagoland area, where you'll see multiple fatalities in one home. You can't smell carbon monoxide, you can't taste carbon monoxide, you have no idea it's happening. And so it's critically important that you have the right detectors in your home.
It's the first shift weekday mornings at 6 a.m. with me, Marky B, right here on WRMN.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Bears and Jacksonville Jaguars battle this Sunday in London, England. Safety Jaquan Brisker not with the team. He's been placed into the concussion protocol. Brisker's tied for the team lead with 40 tackles. The Blackhawks opened up the NHL season on Tuesday night, falling 5-2 against Utah. It was the first NHL game for the Utah Hockey Club after relocating from Phoenix, Arizona. Utah took a 2-0 lead out of the first. Peter Mrazek made 20 saves in the losing effort for Chicago. Toivo Tervainen and Nick Foligno scored the goals for the Blackhawks. Connor Bedard assisted on both Chicago goals. The Blackhawks continue their season opening road trip this Friday night with a matchup against the Jets in Winnipeg.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you...
Looking to stay informed on the political issues that truly matter? I'm Dennis Sonar Green, inviting you to join me every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN for A Political Talk Show. WRMN, the talk of the town, is where you'll find clear, balanced analysis of the day's biggest news. We dig into the headlines, cutting through the noise to deliver the facts and insights you need to stay informed. Whether you're deeply into politics or just want to understand what's going on, this show offers the depth and perspectives that matter. Tune in every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on WRMN and be part of the conversation that's shaping our community. Let's navigate today's political landscape together on A Political Talk Show, only on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Welcome back. You're listening to A Little Girl Talk right here on WRMN AM 1410. I'm your host, Tammy Scully. I am live in downtown Elgin with a little talk time with Tammy and friends. We also have Mary Corbett popping in right there, live from Scottsdale, Arizona. Fabulous. Wow, you got to watch that thing. It slips right off your head. I hate when that happens. Woo! Hello, everyone. Hey, you know what it's time for now? We're back from our break. It's 3:08. I think that's accurate. Something like that. And it's 3:07 on one phone, 3:08 across the room. We got a time zone thing going on in here. It's happening, but it's, let's call it 3:07 and a half. Welcome in. We're going to do a little Dear Tammy and Friends. We've got some do we have any comments on the YouTube yet?
Yeah, on YouTube we see, hi Tammy, I'm Brendan.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you, Brendan.
Thanks for hopping in there.
He likes to let us know when he listens. Thanks, Brendan.
It's true. Most of these all come from the text line.
Oh, okay.
And that is 505-926-1410. 505-926-1410. Let me see if I can find our Dear Tammy music.
Oh, we need our Dear Tammy music. We have Muzak, like you do in an elevator. There it is.
Dear Tammy and friends, my last child moved out, and now my house in Oswego? Oswego? Oh, feels so empty. I knew this day was coming, but I didn't realize how lonely and lost I'd feel. Now I can adjust. How can I adjust to this new chapter in my life and find ways to stay busy and fulfilled? Love the show. Empty Nest in Oswego.
All right, Empty Nest in Oswego. What do you have for her, Mary? You've got an empty nest in Scottsdale, pretty much, eh?
Yeah, I do. I mean, a couple things, right? So it's going to happen. And I remember as it was starting to happen, I was like, oh, no. And it's like, okay, our goal as parents are to raise self-sufficient, good people. And that means they move along, right?
Well, if you do your job right, yeah, they fly out of the nest, right?
When I went grocery shopping yesterday, I will tell you, I said to Al, I said, it is way less expensive to just shop for us two than it is, for the kids. But
Absolutely.
I miss it too. I'm with you.
Everybody does. I think everybody does. Here's the two biggest issues with empty nests. Once the kids leave, then it's you and the spouse. You better figure that one out pretty quick, because you've had kids there forever, being like a buffer in between, blah, blah, blah. You get here, it's a new opportunity to redo your whole relationship with your spouse. This is a fabulous opportunity. And you have no kids to deal with in the middle there, which, of course, they were adults and blah, 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 but they're still kids and they're still around and you still have to do stuff. Now they're gone. Two things I would tell you. Work on your relationship if you have one. She didn't say if she had a spouse or not, so I don't think she did, she didn't mention it. But that's always a big fear, especially. And the other one is when the spouse retires and there's another spouse at home, and what are we going to do? I'm going to kill him, kind of thing. But it's true. But this, we're talking about empty nest. The kids are moving out. So two things. If you have a spouse, it's an opportunity for you to work on the relationship with your spouse without anybody being there to take your time away. And it is another opportunity for you to learn new things and go do some stuff, to go, pick some hobbies, go play pickleball.
Exactly what I was thinking, Tam.
Go learn a new something or other. Go, take an art lesson, blah, blah, blah. Go do some stuff. Go try some stuff. Get new hobbies, get new interests, find new friends if you need to. They've got the meetup things. I don't know if I haven't checked, honestly. Before the pandemic, they used to have at meetup.com. I'm assuming they still have it, where they have all kinds of things of interest, and you find other people that have the same interest and you go do it together with them, whatever that interest could be. But kind of reinvent who you get to be now. This is an opportunity. It's not a bad thing. The kids are coming back. They're not leaving forever. They'll come back.
Coming back for laundry, right?
They come back with their laundry. Yes, that's what they do. They show up still, by the way, with all their laundry in big giant baskets. And let them do it. That's fine.
Would you recommend having a place for them to come back to? Like not necessarily like taking over their room when putting a gym or an art studio immediately in. Maybe still having at least a guest room.
A room or a couch or something. It depends on how long they stick around for. So some people strategically move to a smaller space without enough room. Oops, sorry, Junior, you're going to have to, not move back home. Shoo, go on.
Those Airbnbs work out for you.
Yeah, right. Stand on your own two little feet. But then, we're not going to move houses. I still have a 5-bedroom house and they all have their bedrooms still there. We did.
Well, I'm glad because there's a bedroom for me when I come, so I'm happy.
You get the one in the basement for sure. That's got the best regulation down there as far as
awesome.
Sound, light. Yeah, we call it the drunkard room because it's right next to the bar. All you have to do is fall from the bar into the drunkard room. Mary's like, I want the drunkard room. You can have it. It's yours.
As long as they didn't name it after you, Mary.
No, they did not.
It was named long before Mary started using it. Yeah, no, it's just it's convenient to the bar downstairs. That's all. And then you're not going to sell your house, so you're still going to have the rooms unless you do want to move and you want to downsize. That's one way, like to try and get the kid out that never wants to leave, that you could downsize your house a little bit and go, whoops, sorry, we gotta go somewhere smaller. You gotta go, Junior.
Well, interest rates right now are sitting at just below 7.
Yeah. So what is that? Junior's going to buy a house?
No, if you decided to
buy something else. Yeah.
Sell and then downgrade.
Now we go into a whole nother can of worms on that one, Sonar, because you probably have a mortgage on the current house you're sitting in at 2 or 0 or like next to nothing.
Negative.
Right, negative. They give you money to stay in your house, but then you don't want to take a higher mortgage to get rid of the kid, I don't know, maybe
downgrade the house, but the payment is the same.
Right. Just so I can get him out of my house. That's all. No, I mean, my kids are always welcome at home to come home. They know that. They know it. They know it. I'm not gonna downsize now. I could. We could move somewhere and not like, hey, if we end up selling this place and all we have is Nashville, there is no room for nothing there. It's teeny weeny. So then you're on your own, kids. But my kids are all adults, like major adults. So out you go. Do what you gotta do. They know though. They always come back and bring their laundry.
And their pets.
And then their pets. Oh, I always have the pets. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So good luck to you in Oswego, empty nester.
This one I saved specifically because they asked Tammy and Mary.
Oh,
in this one.
What? All right.
So hold on. Here we go.
All right, then.
Dear Tammy and Miss Mary, I live in Elburn. I've been having issues with my neighbor who's constantly letting their dog wander into my yard. I've tried politely mentioning it, but nothing has changed. I don't want to create bad blood with my neighbors, but I'm at my wit's end. How should I handle this situation? Thanks. Annoyed in Elburn.
Well, annoyed in Elburn, I would recommend that if you've chatted with them and they continue to disrespect you with not keeping their dog out of your yard.
Bear traps.
Wait,
no, I'm sorry. What?
I don't remember. No. Or hot foot. We used to use that. Hot foot. You know what hot foot is? Hot foot I used to put on the grass when I would run high rises in different cities, and they had dogs that would go ruin the grass all around. You sprinkle hot foot on there and it burns their little, it's like a little pepper on their little paws. Hey, you got a sign you got a sign that says no dogs allowed, warning, hot foot or something. You let them know. But if you're dumb enough to put your dog in there, your puppy.
Warning bear trap.
Yeah, well, you could say warning bear trap. Still a little too harsh, I think. Anyway, I would call the city. I don't know what Elburn's rule is on dogs. They used to, like Hoffman Estates, you used to have a dog tag, license, whatever. I think they did away with it. You don't need them anymore. Do you need them out there, dog tags?
You do, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do I sound okay? Because now I actually have the audio coming through.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sound great.
Yeah, it sounds much better than before.
Okay, good.
So
I figured it out. It only took me an hour and 17 minutes.
That's okay. You'll have it all set. You'll have it set for next one. Yeah, so that's what I would do. I would go to the city or research online what is the dog policy here? Do they have? And then you tell the city that they need to keep the city will come and give them a violation. It'll be violation station, and they'll have to get their dog off your yard. I would put it in the hands of authority. I don't know what else to do with it, because if you talk to them and they're not respecting it, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Besides a bear trap.
Yeah, don't do that.
Bear traps.
Yeah, Sonar. I don't want you to be my neighbor. Yeah, I mean, I do, but I don't.
But I'm not saying there's not a walkway, like a path that's designated for people to be able to see it.
Well, no, we're not going to put bear traps on the people.
Didn't we talk about zombies last?
We
last
did.
time,
We
too?
did talk a little bit about zombies, but I don't think you're going to have those in Elburn. Are you going to have those? In Elburn?
Not yet.
Not yet. You've got, I mean, if I'm assuming there's no fenced yard, otherwise, could be like I've got a couple of dogs that like to hop the fence. Now I know my dogs hop the fence. Now I know. Once people brought them back to us when they ran away, so now I know they hop the fence. The offenders do not go out without being on a tether. Like they can't go out in the yard because they'll jump the fence. Especially Titan. He does not look like a jumper, man. He's this fat junkyard dog, but poosh, he's like a gazelle. Boom, right over the fence. The way he goes. I know. So I would, if I were her, I'd go to the city. What do you have to say about that, Mary?
Okay, well, I definitely had made a note of that, but I think this person is saying they don't want to be a bad neighbor, and the other people are actually being the bad neighbor. So I think a conversation prior to going to the authorities in Elburn would be, listen, I've mentioned this to you a couple times now, and it doesn't seem to have made a difference. So at this point, I mean, I really don't have a choice but to call the city of Elburn and see. Well, I would find out ahead of time what the rules are, like Google it, and just say, listen, I certainly don't want to be a Karen or, a bad neighbor, but this is a problem. This is a problem for me, and I've asked you very nicely. And can you share with me why are you not able to keep your dog under control? Right.
Or you could suggest, perhaps, if you go chat with them beforehand, look, I don't want to go to the city. Maybe you can try tying him out on a leash. Like give him an action step to try. Maybe when you let him out, you put him on a leash instead of let him roam. You give him, or you take him, here's an idea for a walk on a leash, that kind of stuff. Like give them ideas of things to do. And if, and I'm going to have to tell you, if he comes back over here, I don't have a choice. I'm going to have to let the village know, like you don't have a choice. Like, so take care of this. Yeah.
So it's on them and it's not on you. You can let that go. Tammy, I thought for sure you were going to say, give them some suggestions, like go to dog training now.
Dog training now. That is where
there's the electronic fences. There's all sorts of things.
Make some suggestions. Here are some suggestions to keep Rover from not coming over. Here you go. Here's electronic fences.
That's a good one.
Thank you. Electronic fences. Here's tie him out. Here's dog training now. Whatever you need. That dog training now works, by the way. It's here in Hoffman Estates, but it is in Hoffman Estates. And Finnegan is a 2-week graduate of it, and he's better. He's not perfect, but he's not perfect by a long shot. But he's better. Don't you think?
I'm glad it's a physical location.
Way better.
Yeah, they got
way better.
They got a pool out there.
Dog Training Now sounds like a DVD series.
Dog Training Now. No, it's an actual physical location, and it's a good place. They do a good job. It's not cheap, but it's if you want your dog to behave, you got you got to work with him, but it is.
Yeah, no, Finnegan's like a totally different dog.
He is. I mean, he used to be.
He's still cute though.
He used to be very Tiggery, but he's not. He's not as jumpy, and he's not as well. He's still in your face a little bit, but.
Oh my God, he's so cute. He's like with your hand trying to bite it
he wants
in
to
a very playful way. But he does take. Oh, good boy. He gets all proud, like
he likes
so
praise.
It's cute. It's cute.
He likes praise. He doesn't like. He's not food motivated at all. Wants nothing to do with food, unless of course it's a cucumber from the garden, and then he won't give it back to you. It's like a ball for him. What are you going to do? All right. Well, good luck to you in Elburn with your puppy situation next door, and I hope nobody gets. It's not too rough. Ba-dum-bum. Speaking of which, we have a few minutes left. Let's see, it's 23. We've got a little Would You Rather. You want to play a little Would You Rather, Miss Mary?
Absolutely. I've got some too.
All right, then. Let me see. What do we have? Do we have Would You Rather music? I don't know what that would be like.
Oh, I don't know. Let me see if I can find
That would be more. That last one was blues or jazz. I don't know. I don't know what Would You Rather music be. We'll see what we come
Would
up
it
with.
be like something that's kind of whimsical, kind of do, 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 do?
Why don't you just sing it for us, Mary? Well, we.
Oh,
do.
yeah. Huh?
I like it.
You'll like that a lot.
Let's see. What do I have for you today? Here, this is a good one, Mary.
Yes.
Would you rather be fluent in every language or be able to talk with animals?
I would rather be able to talk with animals.
I know, how fun. I'm going after the animals. I don't care about the other languages. I want to talk to animals. How do I get that to happen? There was a lady. Okay, this was a while ago. It was on a satellite, like what do you call it? Like the satellite radio stuff. What do you call
Sirius?
it? Yeah, Sirius XM. They had an animal. I think she was a dog, psychic, who talked to dead dogs. And so you
Could
call
the dog talk to dead dogs? And
Yes.
she talked to the dog?
She talked to the dead dog. Yeah. And
No, wait. She talked to the live dog that then talked to the dead dogs?
So the owner of the dog would call in and go, Muffy, I couldn't take Muffy for a walk as much as I wanted to. Was she sad? And then yeah, right. And and then the look on his face was funny. And then the psychic would go, hold on, I feel Muffy coming in. No, Muffy loved her walk. She did love her walk, but Muffy liked her treats. Did Muffy get treats? And she talked to her as if she's talking to Muffy. Muffy's telling her things. You know, it's this woman who said she talked to animals.
Ask Muffy where the money's buried.
Yeah, Muffy. What's the combination to the safe, Muffy?
Yeah, I actually have a business card of a woman that when I took my old dog Cooper to the vet, like a specialist, he was having some issues, and I'm like, gosh, I wish I knew if he was in pain, if it's time for us to, let him go. I wish I knew. And the tech came to me and said, hey, I heard you talking. Here's a card of a lady who actually can communicate with your pet. They're still alive.
Wait, vet gave you this?
The vet tech.
Oh, okay,
gave it
okay.
to me. Yep,
Okay.
yep. And
Those extra years of college will be the separation there, right?
Right, exactly.
But it was a holistic vet. So
okay.
She was a holistic vet. So anyways, I did call my daughter,
Okay.
And it was $400.
Wait,
and I told Kate,
wait. It was $400 for
her to come to my house
and tell you that your dog was thinking?
And for a 30-minute session. And as much as I love this dog, I was like, okay, no, I'm not doing that.
Well, it seems a little wacky, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Well,
absolutely.
To be fair, the prices are pretty reasonable. Call AT&T and ask them to do the same thing and see how much they'll charge.
Yeah, right.
For a 30-minute call to the dead.
Or I could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we should start that as a new segment.
We could do it on air. Yeah. Want us to call your dead people? We'll do it. We got it.
Yeah.
We got it covered. No, I mean, I just think it's a little out there. I mean, but whatever. I used to, by the way, love to listen to this lady because it was hysterical, the stuff she would come up with. Like, she really tried to pull off that she was talking to dead dogs and cats. I don't know. It was weird stuff. Okay, what else do I have here? Would you rather, Mary, be a cat or a dog? Speaking of that,
I would much rather be a dog than
would
a
you?
cat.
Why?
I would. Because I think dogs are more friendly and get more. I like attention and pets and things like that, and I think cats are more prone to being that type of personality than a cat.
Dogs are, you mean? Yeah, dogs are.
Oh, I said cats. I meant dogs.
Dogs
yeah.
are more independent. Well, listen, I don't want to go poop in a box. I guess that might be the main thing there.
Oh my gosh, there you go.
There's the reason to be a dog by itself. I'm just saying.
Period.
There are cats that you can use the toilet.
Jinxie cat? Who does that?
Like there are cat trainer things that you get, and it makes the hole bigger as.
Have you ever seen anybody use that?
No.
I would like to
I don't
see
know
it.
enough people that own cats.
I would like to see a video of a cat using
Chat says darn dog.
Darn dog.
That's what they say.
Who says that?
That's what the chat says. That's what Don says.
Dawn says darn dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the dogs, though. I like the dogs. I don't know if I want to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. Would you rather be a great dancer or a great singer?
Oh, a great singer, hands
Of course.
down.
No question. I think that's an easy one. Except for Sonar, he wants to be a dancer. Ballet, I think he wants to be a dancer.
I'm a triple threat, ma'am.
You are? What are your threats?
The triple threats?
Yeah.
Singing, dancing, and acting.
Okay, there he is. He's a triple threat. He's got it all. Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
Fly.
I might do the invisible thing. Fly. Why?
Because I think two things: I can get to places quicker, and I'm not always the most punctual person.
Oh.
One of my favorite cardio exercises is running late. So therefore, did you catch that, Sonar?
That was
Running
good.
late.
Put on
Get it?
bum.
Running
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, I got it.
He's like,
Now
I
you
got
could
it,
be
Mary.
now you could be flying late.
I could fly, and then I think it'd be really cool to kind of just look down on everything.
Ooh. Like looking down and seeing what everybody's doing and stuff. Yeah, it would be fun to fly. I think I'd like to be invisible and just walk through walls. No, just like nobody knows you're there, so you could do you could do whatever you want. Nobody's going to stop.
Little pranks.
You know what would be really fun if you were in? Well, no, they'd see your paddle. I was going to say you'd be invisible on the pickleball court, but your paddle has to be seen, so that wouldn't work out so well, unfortunately. I have to think that one through.
It's a good thought.
It is a good thought. All right. Well, we didn't get through too many of those. I have tons of those would you rathers. We've got our happy little music coming up. That means that we have a bottom of the hour news break heading your way. And then we're going to come back. Oh, no. Are we doing a spot? We're doing a news. Yeah, we are doing the bottom of the hour. And we'll come back with some News Nation for you. And a couple other fun things. So stick around. We'll be back. Good talk.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Cintas. The DuPage County Health Department is urging residents to get vaccinated against COVID-19, RSV, and the flu. Health officials highlighting the importance of immunizations, especially for high-risk groups such as pregnant individuals, to prevent severe illnesses and protect newborns. Governor J.B. Pritzker declaring the month of October Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the state of Illinois, highlighting the critical importance of early detection. Illinois residents are encouraged to utilize resources like the Illinois Breast and Cervical Cancer Program, which offers free mammograms and screenings, especially for uninsured or underinsured individuals. Nightmare on Chicago Street is returning to Elgin on October 19th, and now they've put tickets on sale on the City of Elgin social media. You can go to nightmareonchicagostreet.com to buy your tickets. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted to walk up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Donaldson right. That'll get Martinez home. They will hold Taylor at third, and diving into second with a double and a run batted in is Francisco Lindor.
The call on Mets Radio 7-2, the win over the Phillies on Tuesday. New York takes a 2-1 series advantage in the best of five. Pete Alonso and Jesse Winker hit solo homers for the Mets. Francisco Lindor ripped a 2 RBI double. New York will try and close things out at home today, Jose Quintana starts against Ranger Suarez. The Padres held on to beat the Dodgers 6-5 to go up 2-1 in the best of 5. San Diego led it 6-1 heading into the third. Teoscar Hernandez hit a grand slam to pull the Dodgers within 1, but the San Diego bullpen able to hold on. Game 4 is tonight. Dylan Cease starts for San Diego. The Dodgers haven't announced a starter. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase, exclusions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its head-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Welcome back. Girls Are Talking right here on WRMN AM 1410. We are entering into our new segment of Another News Nation. We got another News Nation coming our way. And I think Sonar found some more information about that hurricane stuff. So let's see what he's got.
Hurricane Milton, which is expected to make landfall overnight, is expected to be one of the worst storms to ever hit Florida. But News Nation's Kelly Beeson tells us that Florida has been through this before.
It looks like Tampa Bay, home to more than 3 million people, will take a direct hit from Hurricane Milton, and it won't be the first time. In 1921, just a few 100,000 called the area home when an unnamed storm pummeled the same region. The late season, October 25th, that hurricane battered the maritime industry, destroying docks and pushing boats inland. The storm surge reaching 11 feet, inundating areas of downtown Tampa and Tarpon Springs.
If you could imagine something like that occurring today, that would be catastrophic.
1992, when Hurricane Andrew made landfall as a Category 5, hitting Homestead, where 65 people were killed and 50,000 homes were destroyed. It took more than 2 years to recover and cost more than $26 billion to rebuild. Then, in 2018, another Category 5, dubbed Michael, hit Florida's Panhandle, pummeling Mexico Beach and Tyndall Air Force Base. 43 people were killed in that storm. Just 2 years ago, Hurricane Ian, a Category 4 storm, hit just outside of Fort Myers. 156 people lost their lives. It also went down as the costliest storm in Florida's history, topping $113 billion.
Now, in 2004, Charlie was another Cat 4 storm that hit that same area. It caused significant damage to the state as well.
But the concern is that these types of storms are coming at a much faster pace than before.
Mm-hmm. And it's, I don't know. Wait, she was trying to make it sound like it's same old, same old. This next storm is going to be just like all the other storms.
No.
I don't think so. I mean,
the other ones are decades apart from each other. These are a lot closer
together. But this one, Milton in particular, is supposed to be so much stronger than any of the other ones, right? That have hit I mean, Andrew was bad. I forgot the other one. My mom got
Charlie was the other one.
Charlie hit on Tampa side. My mom was in Destin, which is the Panhandle. She got hammered. I want to say
There's Michael that was in 18.
It was Andrew.
Ida was in 21. Laura was the next largest in 20. Charlie was 2004. And then Ian was 2022.
It was Ian. They got hit by Ian in 2022. And then before that was Rita a long time ago. I don't know where.
Ooh, Rita, yeah.
That fly landed right between your
nose.
eyes on your nose. There's flies in here. They're making us crazy.
I had to move some furniture and I left the door open.
You need
like
one
a
of
big
those
spider.
electronic. You need one of those electronic fly
your
swatters.
tennis racket zapper that you reviewed.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that reminds me, I've got a review that I'm going to do. Probably going to be a couple of weeks because I have to get to the car first. But it's a device that you put. It's a gadget. It's a device that you put in your car if you're looking to buy like a used car or whatever, and it's got lights on. It'll tell you anything wrong with the car. Like you can plug it into any car, and it'll tell you. I mean, so I want to try it on my husband's, whose car I'm sure has lots of issues that we can find, and then I'll review it for y'all.
Love it.
In a couple of weeks. But I digress. We're talking about storms and Rita and Ian and all these other nasty storms that have come through over the years. It just sounds like they're just coming faster and more intense. And it's a global warming thing. And I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. I don't know. Do you?
No, they're saying it's happening a lot more frequently, and they're getting bigger more frequently.
Right, and lasting longer or more intense. I guess bigger. I guess it would maybe equal more intense. I don't know.
Do you think, Tammy and Sonar, that would cause people to perhaps decide either to move out of Florida or move, cancel their plans to go to Florida? Because I know a lot of people, want to retire there. I know I don't. But.
No, I'm not. No, but I will tell you for sure, because when I was doing a lot of properties down there, I did a lot of high rises down in that area, or mid rises, and all over Florida. And when hurricanes would come in, there's no question, anybody that worked for us that was there during the hurricane wanted to quit when it was over. Like nobody wanted to live through that again. I mean, it was, it's a horrible thing to have to deal with, and the aftermath is horrible. So I would say, yes, people are moving out of there after these hurricanes and finding somewhere else to retire that doesn't involve that. Now, a lot of people are snowbirds. They're down there for just the winter months, and the winter months aren't really October. I mean, I think they start going down November when it starts getting cold. November, definitely January. They're down there January, February, come back in March, or maybe stay down there for March, whatever. And hurricane season is October to March, is it? Is it?
Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
I think it's the same as wrestling.
Yeah.
I think it is. It's like October, November to March. It's starting earlier though. It used to.
Wrestling?
No, wrestling's always November through March. The hurricanes, I think, are coming in a little earlier.
Stronger earlier, too.
Yeah,
It used to wait until like a couple months in, and we started to see the bigger ones.
You'd start to see them in November, but now we're getting them in October, and we're getting the nasty ones in October. So, well, I don't know what's going to happen to it.
The other thing that's happening, too, Mary, to your question, is I think people are moving out because they can't afford the insurance anymore either. There was at least 2 or 3 major insurance companies that are pulling out of Florida now to where you won't even be able to be insured. And if you're not going to be able to be insured, you have to rely on FEMA. And if you have to rely on FEMA, eventually the government is going to turn around and be like, okay, you're going to pay us back.
They should get involved with regulating these insurance companies who are not being fair. I don't think they're being fair to these citizens who want to pay for their insurance because they know they're going to have to pay out. Most of the time, they never pay out. Like most of the time.
Exactly.
Which is why insurance companies are some of the richest companies in America. The drug companies, the insurance companies, they run it. So I think the government has a very good standing because if they don't take care of it, FEMA's going to have to, like somebody's, who or these people are going to live on the streets? What's going to happen?
And so is it supposed to be Florida that possibly pays more into the federal government side of it because
they get more out?
They get more out, or however it's going on?
Hold on now. We could go to the West Coast and start counting disasters out there.
Sure.
We got some earthquakes. We got that's not.
And so maybe it's a state insurance with the federal government. I don't know. Just spitballing here. Never been elected, so
yeah. Well,
don't know.
Just in case you are, though, you got a platform now,
sure. Hey,
and a fly. That's your running mate.
Here in Illinois, I'll run on hurricane relief.
You'll get lots of votes for that too, because we've got it. It's a big problem here in Illinois, hurricane relief. Yeah.
Well, the other thing about the snowbirds is, Florida's there, but with global warming, the warmth is higher up now. So
That's
now you
true.
can be a snowbird in like northern Georgia or a snowbird in Tennessee.
That's true, and Tennessee is getting a lot of them too. They're no income tax. I mean, they've got.
Is that the key? Like Florida has no state tax, and now they're
no
doing
income
the same
tax.
thing?
Yeah,
okay,
right. So I mean, that's a big saver once you're retired and you're living on a fixed income. You want to know you're not going to have to pay the government a little bit more than you thought you would.
Well, it's too bad that both of those states take more money from the federal government than they put back. So that's fun.
Well, that's another show, I think.
Sure is. 15 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so that was a good News Nation clip. Do we have another, or do we want to go to a break?
It's up to you. I can fire off another one here.
Let's do another quick one, and then we'll do some bad dad jokes. Wrap up our... I know. Bad dad jokes.
Love it.
I know you do. I'm so glad you do, because Miss Nancy is... she almost looks like she's in pain when we do bad dad jokes. Like,
oh, my
physically.
gosh, it's funny.
Yeah.
The Florida Aquarium is busy moving some of their friends to a safer area. Some penguins were brought from their first floor habitat to a higher location inside the building. The aquarium is facing severe flooding caused by a 10-foot storm surge hitting downtown Tampa. Florida Aquarium President and CEO Roger German.
We have 9 African penguins, and they are on our first floor in their home. But we do have temporary home built for them, and they've moved up to the second floor, well above any type of tidal surge that might affect the building. And then we have several animals around the building that are on the ground floor that have all moved to second floor locations and safe locations that we plan for things like this. So they have nice homes, even though they may be a little temporary.
Other animals are also on the move, including snakes, lizards, turtles, alligators, toads, and a hermit crab.
Just one?
Just one. The aquarium is also
Poor little
moving.
hermit crab.
The aquarium is also moving its endangered coral to facilities in West Palm Beach, Miami, and Georgia.
Palm Beach isn't going to get hit. Georgia, I don't know what. Georgia's not in this path either, so they should be fine. But I just read that zoos are moving their critters. I don't know where they're going with them, but zoos are relocating their critters to get them out of the storm surge. Think about that. I mean, and that aquarium.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that if they have any big tanks with any big critters like whales and whatever, they're not moving that. Of course, I guess they don't. Well, now let's talk about
storm surge and get all that in there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what do you do there? I mean, it's different.
New exhibits.
Different water.
Arriving.
Yeah, right. Right. We're gonna mix it up a little bit over here. We're just gonna let it all come in and see what shows up and call it a zoo. I don't know. I mean, you've got animals, and then that's the other thing is a lot of people have animals who are leaving and they can't take the animals with them. And what do if they have to evacuate and they can't get rid of or they can't bring their animal with them? I don't know why they can't bring their animal with them though, but they should. Or a lot of times it is what was the big one that hit Katrina that hit New Orleans? Remember that one? Ooh, look, there it is. Oh, that's the aquarium. That's where it is.
Uh-huh.
When Katrina hit, my brother-in-law is down there, and he was a first responder in New Orleans, and he has a friend who had a cat, And the cat was like the fattest cat he'd ever seen. Like, it was a really big, fat cat, super fat, like his belly's on the ground, big, fat cat. And she had to leave. She had to evacuate for Rita. So she left a ton of food for the cat and water and everything and thought it would be, maybe a few days, whatever. She wasn't sure. Well, ended up being months. She was gone for months. And she came back, and the door to the bedroom was shut with the cat in it. And so the cat didn't get to any of the food. And it had been a month, at least a month, 6 weeks, I thought he said. He came back. She came back, and this cat was skinny. Like, it had lost
all the
weight, but still alive. It was still alive. It was skinny, and it would not skinny, but it was a lot smaller. And it hadn't, and now it won't leave her side. Like, everywhere she goes, like, she can't shut a door and try and this cat's with her everywhere she goes but she's still alive, which is amazing to me. But, people with their animals, and what are you going to do at a zoo that's starting to flood? I don't know. You're going to
get the chimp, hop on my shoulders, get on the giraffe.
Right. You could utilize the critters, too, yeah.
The trunk of the elephant could be handy.
It could be. You could use the trunk of the elephant and the monkey to reach up and shut the window. I don't know. It's not coming in through the window.
Have you seen some of these AI-generated pictures that people are having of, like, little girls and puppies being rescued, and it's all AI pictures that are going around Facebook?
No, why are they doing? Wait, what? What's the purpose?
To pull at heartstrings of look. It's farming. It's like farming and all of that.
Oh no, haven't seen any of that.
Those AI things, like the videos where it's like, "Hi, I'm Kelly Clarkson," and you're like, "This is not Kelly Clarkson."
No, and it's a computer-generated voice every time. Those are all lies and fakes. Just go right past those. Don't even.
100%.
Right. I agree. 100%.
Yeah, like here, this is what they're doing is they're pulling up these AI images.
Oh my gosh,
like,
that puppy with the girl.
That's what I mean. Like that reaction right there.
What is this?
What they're after. These are the AI generated things that are happening. Like, people are posting these out and saying, "Oh, look at this, isn't it?" Like yes, there are real people being saved, but like there's not a 6-fingered little girl holding a puppy that's being.
She got 6 fingers, does she?
Yeah, down here on the side.
Oh, that's too many fingers, little girl.
It's too many.
Mm-hmm. I think I think AI did not generate correctly.
For this one, this is one of my favorites.
That's the one which one?
There was the dog on the roof, and then there's also Donald Trump in a jumpsuit and
in the water.
And a vest. In the water, threading through.
I thought he'd be in a different jumpsuit, but okay.
Yeah, this one's blue. But yes, and then the girl with the puppy.
The puppy and the crying girl with the puppy.
Completely different puppy.
These are all AI generated for the purpose of creating sympathy?
Yeah, well, so that you post it online and people like it and share it, and then you get that notoriety of working with the algorithm.
I see. Well,
and hopefully nobody starts going, doing a GoFundMe or something like that.
Exactly.
But, it's pretty nefarious.
So be careful for that.
She's got 6 fingers. I would. I feel bad for her.
That is a dead giveaway, man. I don't know. I never thought to count the digits on that one, though. But I guess if you notice it, it's pretty obvious if you've got 6 fingers hanging around accidentally. Have an extra finger. I have an extra finger. All right, Miss Mary, you know what I have for you?
You've got some bad dad jokes.
These are like punny. Is it punny? Well, wait. Are these might be puns. Here, let me see. Are plants good at math?
I don't know.
Only if they have square roots. That's a dad joke.
That's a good one.
That's a dad joke.
Like that one.
All right,
that is a good one.
All
That's
right.
a math joke.
It is a kind of a math joke. That one's really stupid.
Well, you know what?
It's so stupid, like it didn't even make it to the air.
I had to
she had to stop and go,
It's that bad.
All right, I'm going to do it. Are you ready? A chicken and an egg go into a restaurant. See, it has a lot of potential right there.
Okay,
a chicken and an egg go into a restaurant. Now I've got your attention, don't I? The host asks, Which of you is first? Ba-dum-bum. Yeah, see?
I get it.
I know, but it's not funny. It's like, meh.
Do you know what happened to me the other day, guys?
What?
So my boss told me to have a good day, so I didn't go to work.
My husband used to work in computers, but then he lost his drive.
Oh my God! What do you get from a selfish cow?
Curdled milk.
Well, pretty good. Spoiled milk.
Spoiled milk. That's spoiled milk. There you go. Did you hear about the fire at the shoe factory?
Did not hear about the fire at the shoe factory, Tammy.
Many souls were lost.
Oh,
Ba-dum-bum.
Right there.
There we go. Yeah, don't take your finger off that button, man. We need that one. Are you planning to go fishing tomorrow, Mary?
I'm not going fishing tomorrow,
Well,
Tammy.
if so, let me know. Let me know.
Oh, let you know? Let me know.
Let me know.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. That's a delivery joke. I don't know.
Hey, why did the cat get arrested?
Why did the cat get arrested? He was a tomcat.
He was caught littering.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
They do it. I'd love to win a Nobel Prize in chemistry. So I'm keeping my eye on the prize.
ION,
yeah. What did the quilt say to the bed after it fell on the floor? Oh, sheet.
Keeping it clean. Keeping it clean.
That one was bad, too. But my delivery was okay. What do you got? You got one, Mr. Sonar? Did you look some up?
Oh, no, I don't have one on the ready. Sorry.
Okay, Mary's got some.
Oh, I've got one.
All right.
Why did the owl quit school, Tammy and Sonar?
Because it
was tired of night classes.
It wanted to.
Good guess. Good guess.
It was too smart. It was too cool for school. I give up. Why?
Well, he wanted time to figure out who he was. Uh-huh.
It's the question.
And this could be a new segment, Tammy. Instead of Ask Tammy and Friends, it could be Ask the Porcupine. Why should you take advice from a porcupine?
I give up.
They have a lot of good points.
Oh, yes, they do. I was going to say something about sharp. There are lots of sharp, yeah.
What is a tornado's favorite game?
Uh-oh.
Risk.
Hide and seek.
Twister.
Twister, yes, of course it is. Yes,
Okay, that makes sense.
I got rid of my vacuum cleaner. It was
Why
just
did you do that?
well, it was just gathering dust.
I thought you were going to say it sucked.
That's another good reason why I got rid of it. It sucked and it was gathering dust. Let's see. What kind of shoes do frogs wear?
Lily pads.
Oh, that's a good one.
Open-toed.
Oh. Even after, the snow flies, they were open-toed?
I guess, but aren't they warm-blooded and wouldn't they die if snow was flying? I don't know. It's a toad, right? Oh, it's a frog. Frogs can't be in the snow.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's just a totally irrelevant
it is, but frogs can't wear shoes either, so I guess it doesn't really even matter, does it?
How do hurricanes see?
Ooh, with an eye.
Through their eye.
Yeah.
I decided to host a party in space. Now I just have to plan it.
Where do spiders buy their clothes?
Ooh, the dressing web.
On the web.
On the web.
What did one raindrop say to the other?
You're falling fast?
Drop in anytime.
Two's company, three's a cloud.
What kind of tree fits in your hand?
Palm tree.
That's it. Da-dum-dum.
There it is.
Good.
Why did the teacher go to the eye doctor?
He couldn't see one to see straight.
Couldn't control her pupils.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for her. I went to buy a dead battery, and the clerk said, no charge.
Oh.
Oh, why can't you trust jungle animals?
I don't know.
Because they're always lying.
Aha.
Okay.
Or because they're why can't you play cards in the jungle? Too many cheetahs. Yeah,
That's right, cheetahs.
And of course, my favorite is how do you wake up Lady Gaga?
Poker face.
Poker face. That's my favorite joke ever, right there. I love that joke. Maybe I'll get tired of it someday, but I don't think so. How do you make an octopus laugh?
Tickle his legs.
Close. Give it 10 tickles. 10 tickles.
10 tickles.
Ah, okay.
Tentacles.
Tentacles.
Tentacles. Where do you take birds out to dinner? Someplace cheap. Cheap. CHEEP. Cheap.
Nice.
I don't know about that one. I wanted to improve my computer's website, so I bought it glasses. I don't get it. I wanted to improve my computer's website, so I bought it glasses.
Website?
Oh, web.
Site.
Oh, site. Got it. What does King Arthur use to see the dark? Night lights. KNINT. Night, you know. Got it. And how do you make an egg roll? Just
Push
give it
over?
Yep, just give it a little push. That's it. Egg roll. Get it? Egg roll. Blum, blum. All right. So, that kind of wraps it up for us today. We appreciate everybody tuning in and listening, and make good decisions. We'll see you on Monday. No, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you.
Attention all burger enthusiasts and game aficionados. Celebrate a century of excellence at Mott's Lounge, proudly serving the community for 100 years under 5 generations of passionate ownership. Sink your teeth into our hand-pressed fresh burgers bursting with flavor, crafted just the way you like them. And while you're here, enjoy our exclusive drink specials, perfect for toasting to our milestone anniversary. Plus, challenge your luck with our state-of-the-art gaming machines, adding an extra thrill to your visit. Join us at Mott's Lounge and be a part of history in the making. Here's to another century of great food, fun, and memories. Mott's Lounge, where every visit is a celebration. For more information, visit us online at mottslounge.com.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 4 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Cintas. Nightmare on Chicago Street is returning to Elgin on October 19th, and now they've put tickets on sale on the City of Elgin social media. You can go to nightmareonchicagostreet.com to buy your tickets. The DuPage County Health Department is urging residents to get vaccinated against COVID-19, RSV, and the flu. Health officials highlighting the importance of immunizations, especially for high-risk groups such as pregnant individuals, to prevent severe illnesses and protect newborns. Governor J.B. Pritzker declaring the month of October Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the state of Illinois, highlighting the critical importance of early detection. Illinois residents are encouraged to utilize resources like the Illinois Breast and Cervical Cancer Program, which offers free mammograms and screenings, especially for uninsured or underinsured individuals. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Come on out to the Country Donuts, that is, at Route 20 and Nestler Road. They're always open. Donuts are made daily using only the finest ingredients to ensure freshness. Their huge variety of donuts offers something to please everyone. Country Donuts doesn't stop at offering you the best donuts. Enjoy a delicious breakfast sandwich or stop in for lunch and try a bowl of their famous chili. Need a larger or special donut order for your office? Call 847-488-1900.
The Distance Social, your spot for great craft cocktails with meaningful conversation. Whether you're out entertaining a group or out for a memorable nightcap, The Distance Social is your spot for starting or ending the perfect evening. Located at 314 North River Street in beautiful East Dundee, Illinois. Go the distance and find your social at The Distance Social.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Blackhawks opened up the NHL season on Tuesday night, falling 5-2 against Utah. It was the first NHL game for the Utah Hockey Club after relocating from Phoenix, Arizona. Utah took a 2-0 lead out of the first. Peter Mrazek made 20 saves in the losing effort for Chicago. Toivo Tervainen and Nick Foligno scored the goals for the Blackhawks. Connor Bedard assisted on both Chicago goals. The Blackhawks continue their season opening road trip this Friday night with a matchup against the Jets in Winnipeg. The Bears and Jacksonville Jaguars battle this Sunday in London, England. Safety Jaquan Brisker not with the team. He's been placed into the concussion protocol. Brisker's tied for the team lead with 40 tackles.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its head-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
Welcome to a political talk show right here on WRMN 1410 AM and WRMN1410.com. Welcome to the voice of the valley and the talk of the town. That is WRMN, and this is a political talk show. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. I am going to walk with you for the next few hours, and we are going to talk about all of the things that are political in the news, but we're going to try to make sure that it is a neutral and apolitical side. A lot of times we get into politics, or we get into talking about the government, or talking about how our lives and the world is, and the people in charge and everything else, and we try to put a political spin on everything. So what we try to do here at A Political Talk Show and WRMN in general is try to give everybody a platform. We can't all say that we're unbiased. We can say that we'll try to be neutral, because everybody's biased about something. I'm biased for comfortable shoes. I don't like olives on anything. Now, I like olive oil. I'll cook with it. It's pretty good.
It's a caveat.
But it's there. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that ideas are valued. Even if you have an idea and it's a bad one, right? We've all made mistakes, but mistakes have value, right?
What do they call that? A reverse indicator?
A reverse indicator that's there. That other voice that you're hearing over here, I apologize for not bringing you in earlier. That is Ben Demonium Boquest. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Yeah, man. No, hey, I wouldn't miss a Word Wednesday. And,
that's it.
Being incumbent in this seat.
Hey.
It leads me to being here on Wednesday.
That is your seat. Thank you for the coffee and the coffee run here at the WRMN.
Necessary.
It runs on coffee and caffeine. That's it.
Most radio stations as we go.
That's media in general, or you know what? I think it's related to things that are 24-hour watches, right? Like in the Navy, same thing. Coffee all the time, because I needed to be up, I needed to be alert, I needed to be, I guess not necessarily focused. Maybe they want you to be jittery, just so that you can be like, oh, what's there over there? Yeah. Like, but thank you for bringing that over. I appreciate it. Today is, like Benjamonium said, is Word Wednesday, and the word is incumbent. We had a call yesterday that was asking on Candidate Tuesday about the Kane County candidates, about talking a little bit more local and a little bit more about the candidates that are here. So that's what we're going to work on as we walk it through. When we hit 5 o'clock, we'll make sure that we open up the phone lines for you. But we've now done a lot more research about all of the different positions that are out there. County recorder, county coroner, the board members, et cetera, et cetera. So we're putting together a extensive report on that. We'll start walking through it as best as we can. But we want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on. We're, 27 days, something like that? We're under 30 at this point.
Yeah.
So for Word Wednesday, as we count down the days, the term incumbent refers to a current office holder who is seeking re-election to the same position. Incumbents are generally considered to have an advantage over challengers because of their existing role in office, which often provides name recognition, access to funding, and a record of accomplishments that they can present to voters. However, a level of advantage varies depending on the political office, federal, state, county, city, etc., and other contextual factors such as economic conditions, scandals, or anti-incumbency sentiments. And it's that last one that I think is absolutely been a surge.
Yes. Yeah, standardly, it's like people will tell you incumbency is the most important word in politics, seemingly. It says a lot to kind of hold a position and be continuously reelected in its own. So it's one of those things where it works off itself. And but now we're seeing a push in the other direction due to stagnance of things happening.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you, because there's a lot of people that talk about term limits, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, well, they shouldn't be able to run this or do that for this long, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, well, don't vote for them.
Yeah, that's effective term limit.
Yeah, at any time you can, hey, you know what? I don't like that guy. I think he should be out. Or that gal is on her 6th time doing this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's called don't vote for them. Now, if you can overvote them or overtake that seat, that challenger takes over, that change comes across. Maybe you've got a golden escalator you want to send somebody down to send some change out into the world.
Yeah.
And
here's a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think the percentage of incumbent people who get reelected are more of kind of quiet quitting, if you would, staying out of the news, kind of keeping a low profile, as opposed to the incumbents who really get out there and are very active? And what do you think would it be like 50-50?
I think it depends on the challenger, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because you've got to match the energy of your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
If your opponent's out there shaking hands and on the phone and has a bunch of canvassers and all of the different things that are out there, I think you as an incumbent have to at least match that energy on whatever level you want to do it in, whether it's matching that same canvassing or oversharing at all of the functions that you're already going. Like, the bully pulpit is a big advantage when you are the incumbent, because you can have that advantage of, these are the things that I accomplished. Look at the great awards I won while I was doing this. I helped this organization, or I was part of this. So that bully pulpit of having something and already being in that position, depending on the challenger, also comes in on that. So it's actually favorable to be the incumbent.
Sure.
Let's see here. It's rates typically between 80% and 85%. In 2022, for example, the re-election rate for House incumbents was 94%, while for the Senate it was 86%. So that's on the federal level of Congress. So you hear these names all the time of Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, Tom Cotton, who's that? Kelly, what's his first name? I can't remember, from Louisiana. I don't follow Congress. I need to do it a little bit more. Or even then, on the Senate side of Bernie Sanders and Lindsey Graham, like on that side of everything. Jim Jordan, there's a whole bunch of people that keep coming in. Now, there is a new freshman class of Democrats and Republicans. If you think about, let's say, who's from Tennessee? Why can't I remember her name? Jasmine Crockett.
Oh,
from Tennessee.
I thought she was Texas. She's Texas.
Is she Texas?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's where I try to not go from there, because there's a Johnson from Florida that's also there.
Oh yeah. He's old guard, I guess.
Yeah, and that's where I mean is those people are still in it. Look at Lauren Boebert for an example. She got reelected mostly because she was the incumbent. I think she won by only a couple hundred votes in that election. And that's, if nobody knew her name and she was a challenger, she wouldn't have even gotten close.
Yeah.
So that name recognition falls into fundraising as well. Mitch McConnell shares his money down the line, so more people want to vote within his side. It's harder for it on that side. Same thing with Nancy Pelosi. They're fundraising masters.
Yeah, and you think about it at a smaller level, it's almost like, for example, a judge. Like those are, I'm sure we were talking earlier about the high rate of incumbent winners in those types of races, and that's more like you don't want the name recognition. Almost, it's like if you know the umpire in the baseball game, it's probably because he made some bad calls.
Mm-hmm. Well, even then, governor. So let's walk down at the state level. Governors and the state legislators, typically around 70 to 80%. My point on all of this isn't that there isn't hope. My point on all of this is that there is hope. There's a lot of this anti-incumbency side of things that are starting to swell now, and I encourage it. I honestly think if we had a good enough system, we would be able to all take positions as if it was jury duty.
Right.
To the point where you get in, you do whatever you need to fix the thing, you pass the baton, you go down. You go right back to your regular job.
Tag in, tag out.
Exactly. And if we had a smooth enough system versus smooth enough people, or maybe wheels and gears that need to be greased on somebody's certain networking level for something to actually be done, versus, no, we have a pretty good system on paper and pretty much anybody can take this plan right here and use it. Mm-hmm. You have a brain and a will to help, and here's the game plan. If we had a smooth system. Now, I don't live in a fantasy land, I don't, because otherwise it'd all be filled with engineers when we'd have smooth systems.
Yes.
And this is where my point comes in with this, is that there is this chance, and even to the caller, we had a caller the other day that was asking about why there are some people that aren't putting their party on their information and their media.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is because not only anti-incumbency, but also anti-party. And if you can come in for a double whammy on some of that, you may be in this 30 to 20% that's a regular reoccurring rotation.
Mm-hmm.
In 2022, for state midterm elections, for example, gubernatorial incumbents who sought re-election won in about 80% of those races. Advantages are the same thing. State-level incumbents often benefit from the name recognition, local visibility, because they're here in the state, fundraising capabilities similar to their federal counterparts. The disadvantage, though, state incumbents may face more significant challenges due to state-specific factors like budget crises, controversial policy decisions, or regional issues like hurricanes. Governors in particular can be held accountable for the state's economic performance or high-profile events such as natural disasters. That is a lot of what they do as far as having that bully pulpit we were talking about, being able to be the governor to bounce from thing to thing and place to place for it.
Yeah, just getting that screen time, I guess you will, if you will.
Yeah,
an opportunity to actually talk to the constituents.
I mean, how much do we know about Ron DeSantis living here in Illinois, right?
It's too much.
And that's what I mean. That's that screen time over there. It's governors run for president, vice presidents run for president. So it's that natural progression of hierarchy. Like if we had to lay the presidential I guess chain of command or ladder steps that you would need to go to, mailroom to president. Yeah, you would want governor or lawyer or senator, right? You would want something with that proven record. So being able to trade up, you need an incumbency somewhere. And most of the time, you need a win for a re-election within that scope as well. Otherwise, people just think you trade up every single time, which is another hit on you. that says you wouldn't even stay for a second term or couldn't make a second term, so you just tried to jump ship to another position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of imaging for sure. Politics. I know how it goes.
So that is the word of the day, is incumbent. And just think about all of the different ways that we can pull that towards either the Kane County side of things or even the national side of things, because Harris is supposed to be change, but also is putting on this facade of, look at what I've accomplished.
Yeah.
You can't say it's not my job, I'm the vice president and don't do anything, and then claim, hey, we look at what we did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why Moses didn't make it to the promised land, because he slapped that rock and said, look what God and I have to do for you.
That's it. Yeah, the slates.
So that's where I'm not sure where Harris is going to really fall in that line, now that we're starting to see it level out, coming out of the honeymoon of a new candidate and also the DNC. So we're going to go a little bit into what our series is going to be over the next couple of days. It is 27 days that came through, and what we're going to hopefully do is be able to break some of this up for everyone so that there's something that you can look at or listen to as we run down all of these different candidacies and these races here in Kane County. So one of the ones that we're going to absolutely start with is the county board chairman. Now, right now, it is the incumbent Corinne Pirog. Pirog seeks re-election as the county board chair. She has focused on economic development and infrastructure improvements during her tenure. Her administration has also prioritized transparency and fiscal responsibility. Lance Bell is the challenger. A businessman, Bell is running on a platform of reducing government waste and lowering taxes. He advocates for more business-friendly policies to stimulate economic growth in Kane County. The other one that we're going to go over is also the state's attorney. And we did have Andrew Sosnowski in earlier today, and Mark did a great moderation of that interview. You can find it on the YouTube side.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was really neat to have everybody in. Also, Rob Russell, who's running for coroner, came in as well.
Friend of the show.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to be a friend of the show, you're more than welcome to come over here. 14 Douglas.
You're halfway there. We're already your friend. So
it's there. So the state's attorney, Jamie Mosser, Democrat. The current state attorney, Mosser, is campaigning on her record of criminal justice reform, including her stance on the SAFE-T Act, which eliminates cash bail in Illinois. She supports efforts to modernize the office and improve resources for victims. Andrew Sosnowski, Republican. Sosnowski is challenging Mosser's, positioning himself as a strong advocate for public safety. He has expressed concerns over the SAFE-T Act, impact on crime rates, arguing for its repeal for significant revision. There's a lot of different places you can find information on people. We use the Kane County applications so you can actually see who's been put in. You can also check out the Kane County Republicans if you want to see some of that, or Kane Dems, I believe is what they call themselves. The other location that I've started to pull up is actually Shaw Local, which is another place that pulls together all of the different e-papers, and that is Kane County Chronicle /election there on shaw.com. So the other things that are running here in the last 3 minutes of our segment here, before we get to our News Nation guest at the bottom of the hour, we're also going to run down county circuit clerk, county auditor, county recorder, county coroner, and then we've also broken down the different districts and how they are being run and who's up for election on those. So that's part of some of the things that we're putting together over here. We were asked yesterday to talk more about the Kane County election and those candidates. And so we decided to put together a series where we can kind of break those things down. And if we've got time after our interview, then we will we'll run down the board chairman, I think is what I would like to do.
Yeah.
Who are we talking with from News Nation? Well, that's, of course, our buddy Rich McHugh. He is in Washington right now, or I'm sorry, he's in North Carolina. And Speaker Mike Johnson is on his way to talk down there. And let's see here. House Speaker Mike Johnson recently criticized for the federal response to Hurricane Helene, calling it a massive failure during his visit to North Carolina. He emphasized that despite having more than a week's warning, federal agencies, particularly FEMA, were inadequately prepared to handle the aftermath. The hurricane has left over 220 people dead and caused widespread flooding across several states, including North Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee. Johnson highlighted ongoing issues with delayed rescue operations and scarce basic supplies in hard-hit areas like Asheville and North Carolina. Johnson's critique extended to the Biden administration's allocation of disaster relief funds, accusing it of mismanaging resources by prioritizing other initiatives over hurricane relief. Joining us at the bottom of the hour will be, of course, News Nation's national investigative correspondent, Rich McHugh, and he'll talk about Mike Johnson calls response to Helene, quote, massive failure. Speaker Johnson visited North Carolina, and more from News Nation's Rich McHugh here on A Political Talk Show on WRMN 1410 AM and WRMN1410.com. We'll be right back.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan. Brought to you by Cintas. Governor J.B. Pritzker declaring the month of October Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the state of Illinois, highlighting the critical importance of early detection. Illinois residents are encouraged to utilize resources like the Illinois Breast and Cervical Cancer Program, which offers free mammograms and screenings, especially for uninsured or underinsured individuals. Nightmare on Chicago Street is returning to Elgin on October 19th, and now they've put tickets on sale on the City of Elgin social media. You can go to nightmareonchicagostreet.com to buy your tickets. The DuPage County Health Department is urging residents to get vaccinated against COVID-19, RSV, and the flu. Health officials highlighting the importance of immunizations, especially for high-risk groups such as pregnant individuals, to prevent severe illnesses and protect newborns. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbor's dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Cintas. Kane County is calling on residents to play a hands-on role in the democratic process by serving as election judges for the upcoming general election on November 5th. Clerk John A. Cunningham emphasizing the vital part these judges play in ensuring elections are run efficiently. Find out more by contacting the clerk's office. The Geneva City Council looking out for a new Ward 5 alderperson after Craig Maladra's resignation last month. Residents of the 5th Ward who meet a stringent criteria are eligible to apply for this civic role by this Friday. Applications must include a letter of interest and a statement of economic interest submitted to the city clerk. In Batavia, former city alderman Dan Chanzit facing charges related to the possession of multiple drugs. The 48-year-old was arrested at his residence on Peebles Court, with authorities charging him with possession of methamphetamine, ecstasy, and psilocybin. Despite the charges, Chanzit claims that the drugs were not his, but belonged to two individuals staying in his home. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbor's dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Welcome back to A Political Talk Show right here on WRMN 1410 AM and WRMN1410.com. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. We are talking about House Speaker Mike Johnson recently criticized the federal response to Hurricane Helene, calling it a massive failure during his visit to North Carolina. He emphasized that despite having more than a week's warning, federal agencies, particularly FEMA, were inadequately prepared to handle the aftermath. Joining us now is News Nation, Rich McHugh, national investigative correspondent, talking about the, quote, massive failure that Mike Johnson is talking about. Follow Rich over at Twitter or X at Rich McHugh, RichMchugh. Rich, thank you very much for once again coming here on A Political Talk Show. How do you maintain the journalistic integrity while covering highly politicized stories like this when you're just trying to hit the news that's out there?
Well, it's not easy. I'll be honest with you. It's like trying to figure out what the actual truth is. I think you have to talk to a number of sources. You have to cast a really wide net, and honestly, just listen to everybody and what comes back at you, and what kind of is coming back to us. Well, the community in North Carolina there's a big effort to say there's all this misinformation coming out. Mm-hmm. But the folks that we're talking to, that we have been talking to, these are, I've spent a day and a half with a group that calls themselves the Redneck Air Force, and they are former special ops. Okay. Hundreds of them flying aid into these residents. And they say, look, we're getting it done. We haven't seen FEMA here. This model is broken. But trust us, we're getting it done. We need funds released to us now, and that's not happening.
Is that the specific failures that the speaker's talking about? Is the funding, or is it the actual presence of FEMA, or is it just everything just is too slow to get moving?
I think it's everything. I think it's before there was lack of mobilization to the areas here, lack of funds getting into the actual population quickly, too much red tape, and that is something that these former soldiers are also telling us. Like, there's too much red tape. We need funds released to the people now, at least to the people who are getting relief to these citizens now. They don't have computers, that they don't have power. Some of their houses are destroyed. They can't go online and apply for FEMA money if their phones aren't working or their computers aren't working. There's a lot of there's a big effort underway to just say that they're getting the help that they need, and FEMA has dispatched a lot of personnel to the area. That may be true. It's very possible that that's true. I will say I didn't see a single person here in North Carolina from FEMA. I see a massive undertaking from people, Americans, stepping up to do good. And certainly most of the people that I've talked to say, look, these are the people that are going to kind of move this forward. FEMA is that you have to apply for. They're not there to really help those in need right now. Like, these people are helping people now. They're delivering aid to mountaintops where people are stranded because the roads were washed out. And oftentimes they're saying these are the first. They haven't seen anybody else. They haven't seen any other emergency services. Just these people flying up these chopters, all volunteer work. That's really the remarkable story here. That's
a story of the division that we all thought the country was at. It takes this neighborly and this citizenry to come together to actually fight a common enemy back to it. Do you think that some of these numbers that the federal side is putting out is more just to say that they've got the lip service out there, or is there at least something close, a center or a hub that maybe they just don't have the resources to get out to specific areas?
I think this is a tough.
I hate to put you on the spot like that, but
I have seen no hub. I've seen no federal hub. I've seen National Guard, and them getting work done, and I've seen some National Guard actually working with these volunteers. So to me, that's who's getting like the urgent stuff done. Perhaps FEMA is set up somewhere, and they're orchestrating on a higher level. But the point that a lot of these folks are making is that we don't have the luxury of time. It's going to get cold here in 2 weeks and rainy, and these houses are ripped open. These roads, they can't access them. People are living in schools. They need help now, and they don't need grants in 3 weeks. They need funds to be released now so they can get goods and their families can have some sort of existence in these cutoff areas.
Like you said, it's difficult for communications in and out of there. Is there any way for anybody who is in need to get that help, whether it is government or civilian? Do you know any contacts or anywhere if they can get internet signal or anything like that to go to?
I really don't.
Okay.
I hate to say that.
Do you still recommend the FEMA website, and if they can get information from FEMA on that side, is that
yes,
more reasonable?
I have spoken to several people who've gotten, look, their house was washed away, and they were given $750 by FEMA. So that is happening. But the ordinary citizen who can't access stuff, like we've been communicating for the past several days, largely through Starlink in these areas, because there's just all the communications are down, and so everything is they're dropping off these mobile Starlink units into these communities along with generators, and that's how people are getting by in these regions. Some towns are completely unaffected. You go one town over, and there's all the restaurants are on, the power's on, the water's working. One town over, and it's a complete disaster. It's hard to kind of the juxtaposition of it all. It's hard to make sense of it, frankly.
How does this compare to other disasters that have happened recently in those areas? I mean, I know we haven't had a giant hurricane just kind of sit in North Carolina for a while, but how has this response been compared to others?
The sense I get from talking to people, I mean, I haven't spent my life in North Carolina, but the sense I get from talking to locals is that they had a big hurricane something like 20 or 30 years ago. I don't know the date, but this is by far the biggest. I mean, we were touring around Biltmore Village today, which is part of Asheville. It's one of the hardest hit, and it looks like the devastation is just widespread. There's anywhere along the Swannanoa River there that flows through town is just destroyed. Restaurants just destroyed, cars, trucks upended in this river. It literally is a war zone. It's been taped off, so only people like news and police can get in. But it's bad.
We're speaking with Rich McHugh, an accomplished journalist and national correspondent for News Nation, specializing in investigative journalistic reporting. You can find him at Twitter at Rich McHugh, also on LinkedIn. That's RichMchugh, also on News Nation, where you can find a bio and the different things that Rich has been reporting on over here. Rich, do you see a role in social media being a way to get the truth or the right information out?
Partly, yes. I've posted some of the reporting that we've been doing about these, former special ops volunteers, and it's going a bit viral. They're saying, how can we help more widely seen on all the other networks? Why are we just seeing this on like your TikTok? So people are reaching out. They're asking how they can donate. That is how this is actually happening. Word of mouth, and people are showing up and offering money and offering their time. Pilots flying in from Connecticut or Illinois. I flew over the devastation with two different pilots, one from Illinois and one from Connecticut, both who just came down to volunteer their helicopters and their time for several days. Like, that's what's happening here.
I'm glad to see Americans pull together, and I wish you all the safety and everybody who is covering these, including the News Nation correspondents that are in Florida as well. Thank you, Rich McHugh from News Nation. Is there anywhere else that we can follow you other than Twitter?
Rich McHugh TV at TikTok.
Rich McHugh TV at TikTok, you said?
Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you very much again for being here on with us. WRMN 1410, you're listening to A Political Talk Show. We are going to take a quick break, but don't forget that you can find this interview and all of our interviews on the podcast at A Political Talk Show on your favorite podcasting platform. We will be right back. Thank you, Rich McHugh, for being on with us. We'll be back to you, listener, here in just a few moments.
Looking to get your fingers on some delicious grub? Look no further than Sticky Fingers in Carpentersville. Family owned and operated, Sticky Fingers specializes in chicken, fish, and shrimp, which you can choose to have dusted with flavor or doused in the sauce of your choice. Sticky Fingers strives to provide flavorful food with fresh, locally sourced ingredients. Sticky Fingers personally invites you to stop by and try one of their scrumptious dishes today.
For exceptional home-cooked meals, visit the longest family-owned restaurant in Elgin. Paul's Family Restaurant at Lawrence and McLean takes pride in their fresh daily specials like steaks, fish, pasta, soups, and more. Paul's fresh buttermilk pancakes and breakfast skillets are phenomenal. As you walk in, you can't help but notice owner Elaine's wonderful eye for detail. The toughest decision you'll have to make is what size leftover box to take home. Call 847-695-8687.
Twin Zeros at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights, Illinois. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. Twin Zeros Restaurant in Harwood Heights not only serves traditional gyros, but also has chicken gyro sandwiches. Twin Zeros also serves a variety of sandwiches ranging from cheeseburgers and Vienna beef hot dogs that have recently been inducted into the Vienna Beef Hot Dog Hall of Fame. Italian beef, Italian sausage, and combo sandwiches. To ethnic favorites such as Slovaki and Grecian chicken. Slovaki is shish kebabs, specifically chicken or pork shish kebabs, grilled to perfection, served on a warm pita with tomatoes, onions, and our homemade tzatziki sauce. You can also enjoy barbecue ribs served every day. Twins is open 7 days a week and also delivers locally. Located at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. That's twinzeros.com.
How many times have you heard about or driven past the Volo Auto Museum and still haven't checked it out? They have over 200,000 square feet of heated showrooms filled with countless collections of the most amazing mechanical marvels in the world. From incredible collector cars, movie cars, trains, boats, and planes, to a Disney gallery, dinosaurs, vintage arcades, kiddie rides, and a medieval torture exhibit, plus the Titanic Museum. They're open every day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit volofun.com.
For local information and fun times in the mornings, listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on the first shift.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help you.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
You can't haze. You'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN.
Keep informed with everything that's going on with the Radio Shopping Show by joining our VIP text club today. All you have to do is text the message WRMN 1410 to the number 94253 and you're in. You'll receive timely information about Shopping Show specials instantaneously as they happen. Message and data rates may apply. The voice of the Valley and the home of the Radio Shopping Show, we are WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Taqueria Las Cumbres, Crystal Lake's authentic Mexican restaurant on Grant Street, is open for carryout. For over 15 years, Taqueria Las Cumbres has been serving up all of your favorite Mexican dishes and doing it better than the rest. Recently voted the best in McHenry County. Stop in and carry out the authentic taste of Mexico and see for yourself. Support local for lunch and dinner today and place an order from Taqueria Las Cumbres. Call 815-455-8200 for Taqueria Las Cumbres of downtown Crystal Lake.
Welcome back to a political talk show right here on WRMN 1410 AM and WRMN1410.com. That's where you can send Ben or myself an email if you've got a like, a dislike, a love, or a hate letter. Go ahead and send it on over to Ben.
Do you get a lot of love emails?
Sometimes.
I'm backed up.
So many. This is a political talk show right here on WRMN. And what we try to do here is stick with the facts. That's why we had a fantastic interview with Rich McHugh. Rich McHugh, an accomplished journalist at News Nation, the correspondent that is part of the investigative side of News Nation. We love talking to him. In fact, I was just going through this schedule. And Rich is actually the first News Nation correspondent to hit a full hat trick with us.
All right.
That's 3 that we've got with Rich.
We'll have to throw him a squid via hockey traditions.
That's it. So next time he's in Chicago, we'll have to make sure we buy him a beer. But I think we came out with that getting the boots on the ground perspective that's over there. Mm-hmm. And we hear a lot of, no, you're wrong, we're right. Like, what's really starting to get me with the news right now, Ben, is instead of reporting the facts, we report what somebody said. And then we get away with saying, we reported the facts. I reported the thing that person said. Yeah, but if that person is saying the earth is flat, then it's not news for me to turn around and report, hey, by the way, Ben said the earth is flat. And on to our next story. Like, no. Pause.
Who is this Ben?
Yeah, who's this Ben? Now, let's say Ben has a huge point of authority. Let's say he's president of the world. And I report the news as the president of the world reportedly said the earth is flat. And on to our next story. Like, do you see where that doesn't fit?
And what if I'm an incumbent, though? Like, you can't touch me if I'm an incumbent.
Yeah, well, you got the mighty power. But no, it's that's what's really starting to get to me with a lot of this news. And they keep calling everything fake, or this person is saying this, or that's not true. Because right now, that's exactly what we're getting. We're getting, oh, it is slow response. Oh, no, it's not a slow response. Look at all the things that we sent. Oh, but it's a slow response. We said this. Oh, well, look at what the governor said. They said they're going to say we got everything we need, because if they said they're doing a terrible job, what are they going to do? You turn around and go, oh, we're doing a terrible job, huh? You really want to see what a terrible job looks like?
Yeah. And also it goes to say there's been a lot of focus on FEMA and this stuff as far as pushing legislation and funding and all this stuff. So who's to say that's not part of it? And this is where you really understand the need
and an impeachment on Mayorkas as well. Yeah. Like it's where politics keeps getting in the middle of helping people.
Yeah.
And
really clears it up.
That's what I took away with talking with Rich. And I'm not going to put words in his mouth. He's a absolutely adult. He can say whatever he needs to. I don't need to say nothing. But
listen to the interview. Great information. Yeah. Go re-listen to it.
Boots on the ground. Couldn't find a hub. Like you turn around and you say these things instead of going to the boots on the ground, instead of talking to the correspondent, instead of trusting the person who's there with the camera and everything else. We all just want to report what somebody else said. That's not news. That's hearsay.
Yeah.
That's us all turning around and saying, oh, yeah, well, you know what? My car, my mechanic turned around and said I had to do this.
Right, especially in today's world where everybody is a de facto journalist, kind of, in some weird way, whether it's, just because of their hobby or their, political leanings, or even where they're from. I'm sure a lot of people have information that others don't because they're from Asheville, So it's sadly the environment, the media environment that we're in. So it's kind of why we're around here to at least try to bring some sense back into everything. What's the reason for all this stuff,
Yeah.
And next hour we're going to be going into talking about Hurricane Milton, how that's shaping up, looking to hit land later tonight, early tomorrow morning. And obviously it's hurricane season, but these are two quick storms back to back that it's really taken over the news cycle because of what happened right now with Helene in North Carolina. So as much of a silver lining as you might be able to get is that there's just more focus and more awareness now. So
that's true. One thing I regret not asking Rich is if the speaker was planning on bringing in an emergency session. The last thing I heard was that he is not. But Mayorkas has also said that they have enough money to get through these two anyway. And I don't think there's another one cooking because Milton is just so big. There's not enough room for another hurricane to fit. But you just said that they just got downgraded. It just got downgraded to a 3.
Yes. Yeah, there is news that it dropped down to a 3. And my thought, if we have any meteorologically savvy friends out there to corroborate this thought, but my thought is that these tornadoes have something to do with it.
Yeah, we were reporting on that on Tammy's show, Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. And there is a report in Central Florida about some of these tornadoes. And I believe they said there were 4 to 5 confirmed sites and about a dozen more unconfirmed that are out there. So with this craziness of weather and all of the stuff that's going on down there with the recovery and everything else, it's going to be a hard time.
Never ends.
Luckily, it doesn't look like it's going to curve back up and hit the Carolinas. It looks like it's just going to dissipate back into the old pond over there. This is WRMN and Apolitical Talk Show. Stick around with us to the top of the hour for the next hour because it is time for headlines and phone lines. 847-931-1410. 847-931-1410. We'll be right back.
American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400 and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 5 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Cintas. The Geneva City Council looking out for a new Ward 5 alderperson after Craig Maladra's resignation last month. Residents of the 5th Ward who meet a stringent criteria are eligible to apply for this civic role by this Friday. Applications must include a letter of interest and a statement of economic interest submitted to the city clerk. In Batavia, former City Alderman Dan Chanzit facing charges related to the possession of multiple drugs. The 48-year-old was arrested at his residence on People's Court, with authorities charging him with possession of methamphetamine, ecstasy, and psilocybin. Despite the charges, Chanza claims that the drugs were not his, but belonged to 2 individuals staying in his home. Kane County is calling on residents to play a hands-on role in the democratic process by serving as election judges for the upcoming general election on November 5th. Clerk John A. Cunningham emphasizing the vital part these judges play in ensuring elections are run efficiently. Find out more by contacting the clerk's office. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, You know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
The Triple Berry Cafe of Crystal Lake offers incredible breakfast and lunch options for you, and now the coffee bar is open for you to enjoy. Stop in and enjoy a relaxing cup of coffee in a peaceful setting, and if you're hungry, the Triple Berry Cafe is ready to provide you with homemade goodness. Enjoy omelets, skillets, pancakes, crepes, waffles, and much more for breakfast. Stop in at the Triple Berry Cafe for lunch and enjoy signature sandwiches, burgers, wraps, salads, and healthy options are available as well. Triple Berry Cafe, just off Randall Road in Crystal Lake. Now with a coffee bar.
Hit the open road and experience the fresh air of Wisconsin at the Grand Stay Hotel and Suites in Mount Horeb. This award-winning hotel is just outside Madison. Mount Horeb is known as the troll capital of the world. Families can go on a troll hunt through the historic downtown or check out Cave of the Mounds just minutes down the road. The Grand Stay offers a beautiful pool and a hot tub with year-round fun. Visit grandstaymounthoreb.com today to schedule your visit.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Bears and Jacksonville Jaguars battle this Sunday in London, England. Safety Jaquan Brisker not with the team. He's been placed into the concussion protocol. Brisker's tied for the team lead with 40 tackles. The Blackhawks opened up the NHL season on Tuesday night, falling 5-2 against Utah. It was the first NHL game for the Utah Hockey Club after relocating from Phoenix, Arizona. Utah took a 2-0 lead out of the first. Peter Mrazek made 20 saves in the losing effort for Chicago. Toivo Tervainen and Nick Foligno scored the goals for the Blackhawks. Connor Bedard assisted on both Chicago goals. The Blackhawks continue their season opening road trip this Friday night with a matchup against the Jets in Winnipeg. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's
now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com is the book called DUI Jury Trial, which is the true story of a truck driver in Illinois who was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Not only was he facing a revocation of his driver's license, but also a lifetime disqualification of his CDL, which would prevent him from ever driving a semi-truck again. This book includes backstories of the truck driver, the lawyers that defended the case, and the DUI expert witness who analyzed the case and then testified at trial as to the proper protocol procedures of the field sobriety tests as well as the breathalyzer test. This nonfiction novel also includes the actual court transcript from the jury trial, a courtroom showdown in which the final verdict would determine the fate of the defendant's livelihood. The book DUI Jury Trial is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. Welcome to a political talk show right here on WRMN 1410 AM and WRMN1410.com. Why would I say we're broadcasting on WRMN1410.com? You're a radio station. Well, you know what? We're a multimedia platform that hits all kinds of multi-formats that are out there in the world, whether it is the app. You can check out the WRMN app on your favorite app store. Maybe it's a Play, maybe it is a iTunes, whatever app store that you use over there, you can find a WRMN app to listen to. But again, if you go to the WRMN1410.com website, you'll find a couple buttons over there. One of them looks like a YouTube red play button. That one right there takes you right to the YouTube channel. What?
So
radio
convenient.
stations, YouTube channels, websites, fangled-dangled things that beep and buzz and light up in my pocket. Yeah, the future. Welcome.
5G.
But if you do like the old school AM side, we make sure we provide all kinds of multiple formats for you. Go ahead and tune that AM dial over to 1410. That's 1,410 megahertz. If you're on the little dial, the twisty thing that's there. Oh no, I'm sorry, kilohertz. Kilohertz. Sorry, it's 1.4 megahertz. That's there, which is what the AM FM side does. Sure.
Yeah.
You're listening over there on those airwaves because they are buttery smooth. So buttery smooth that we are starting to put together a few music shows. We listened to Court Stevens earlier this morning on the first shift, who puts together an amazing Saturday night music, just extravaganza.
Yeah.
It's Court's CD showcase where he plays CDs, literal hard
personal collection,
lasers, everything.
I love it because I always like hearing new music. Just like if it's the first time I'm hearing a song, I'll always give it a shot. At least listen one way through, all the way through one time.
Yeah, it's fun.
This is stuff that I like. I really like going out of my typical genre of music that I listen to, and this gives me a great opportunity to. I never grew up with people who listen to country or really even pop music of the 70s and 80s. So it's a whole new world to me.
It's great because where I think it really shines is that era of CDs, of that medium. Like, we're going through the records that are here over at the station, and that was the medium at the time of we're walking through a lot of presses that are from the 60s and 70s, but of the 30s and 40s music. And so it's kind of like a throwback of a throwback that's in there. And even with a lot of the CDs that were out, they came out with those 20th anniversary type of CDs or those mixed CDs that came through. So
that's what I call music.
Exactly. So it's really fun that before some of you youngins, before the iPod, and even then I talk to some of my students and say, you remember an iPod? And they go, is that like an iPhone? I'm like, you kinda, but like we had to carry around our music back in the day when we couldn't like stream it directly from the cloud.
Yeah, what fools we were thinking, oh, I wish this thing was a phone too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, ugh.
I felt like a hoarder at some point where you're like, I gotta have my music with me. What if I lose my music?
Yeah.
But like it was just odd.
And now, interestingly enough, you never really, I mean, I don't say wouldn't say never, but you never have like a dedicated music device anymore. That's just something that you just don't have anymore. I wonder if people are less inclined to actually sit around and listen to music now.
Yeah,
because of that.
That's where for me, I actually spun up a secret IP address for myself where my collection of music just spins.
That's so cool.
So all I got to do is just like type in that magical IP address and my music plays for me. Now it's not for public, so I can't give you the IP address. Otherwise, ASCAP and BMI will come back to me.
Yeah.
but it's all music that I own. So I put it out there and I spin it for myself, and I get to tap into it, whether I'm at the house or wherever.
That's a great way to do it.
I used to do it on the ship too. We had a backup telecommunications line. So you got your primary that you're always talking to everybody else in the division at the different spaces. It's like the sonar technician channel. Well, you always have a backup on the other side. Well, nobody's using the backup. We were all using the first one. So I took my iPod, made a bunch of playlists, and then taped a speaker to the radio.
Nice.
And dialed it in to that backup. And when I wanted to listen to music while I was sitting there listening to the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, look, I had the sleepiest job on the ship. I had the listen to whale sounds and the ocean at 3:00 in the morning. Like, people do that to go to sleep.
Yeah, right.
And that was my job. So
one of my favorite old world resources to listen to music when you're without a music device is Call & Oates. It's a hotline where you could call and listen to one of 4 Hall & Oates classic tunes. Give them a shout out. Give them a call, 719-266-2837.
Give that one out slower.
You could, no, you got to listen back and decide, just figure it out. I'm not supposed to talk about Call & Oates has been around for a while.
That's true.
And I just find myself going back to that.
Just in case you need it.
719-266-2837. You could call Oates as well.
Yep. Call that number and you'll get it there. So we did just talk with Rich McHugh from News Nation. And he was down there in North Carolina because he was covering Mike Johnson calling Helene a massive failure. Now, what he did say was a success was this group that keep calling themselves the Redneck Air Force, that are flying in those helicopters that he was talking about, flying people in and out, finding them stranded, pulling them in, even to the point where Rich said there isn't even a hub. So I guess they're just pulling people over to the shore, making sure somebody saw them, and then going off to go rescue somebody else. So that aid is still happening here, but it's the biggest thing is that debris from Helene is still out there. So imagine like how bad it was when everything was attached to everything. Now think about how all of these different pieces of wood and stuff that was just ripped apart for Helene now being picked up for Milton.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's usually how it works when you get these storms that compound on each other. It takes the already damaged infrastructure, and that opens up more possibilities for destruction. And as you're seeing, the focus really. So really glad to get the good news about the downgrade in a category. And it comes at a good time, I think, as far as not sensationalizing people to either think that if they're in Tampa that they shouldn't evacuate. It's at a good time where most everybody who's evacuated has those plans in place, is already doing that, and they should continue to do that because the rainfall and everything. It's still going to be the major concern is the rush of water, the surge. The flood surge. But here, highlighting this story, Hurricane Milton dips to Category 3 as it heads for Florida landfall. Hurricane Milton weakened slightly to a still powerful Category 3 storm Wednesday afternoon on a path towards Florida's central west coast. The National Hurricane Center said the hurricane, which is expected to make landfall Wednesday night, caused a string of tornadic supercell storms to begin sweeping across the state's southern peninsula. The National Weather Service in Miami observed at least 4 twisters, including a multi-vortex tornado in the early afternoon as meteorologists reported storm surge starting to arrive along the southwestern Florida coast. Tornado warnings were issued for multiple cities, adding to hurricane and storm surge warnings already in place for many of those same places. So I didn't hear of the several vortex twister, which you saw one of those earlier this year in Iowa, which was the strongest storm ever on record.
Wow.
And this storm, Milton, I saw something, again, I'm sorry for my non-sourcing here, but it's the world we live in now, guys. So I saw something, and it said that the storm, Milton, it spiraled the way that it got fast. It became, I think, the 8th strongest storm hurricane on record.
Wow.
How it whipped up in the eye, the eye of the storm was the high mile per hour winds, and what they were saying is that it was the mathematical limit of what the Earth could possibly create in such
the perfect storm over there.
Yeah, like it really can't get much faster than that as far as increasing. So as it increased, it also has decreased from that to a category 3. So
Which you run out of space. It can't build anymore, can't sustain that 5.
Isn't that an insane thing to hear, though, that like based on like you'd have to make the Earth bigger in order to get any faster.
And
like that's where we're at with global warming and climate change.
And whoever's in control of it needs to like turn down the dial just a little bit.
Like,
please
back off. Like the game's over.
Like, don't crank up the weather control to 11.
Yeah.
Come down a little bit on that. Maybe a nice 7, maybe. Like, we can hang out with that.
Yeah, the hurricane machine.
This is, speaking of the machine, buddy, this is what's really befuddling me is the Redneck Air Force reports. Because we talk about the biases of things that are here, and it's turning out that the Redneck Air Force, the only people that are really talking about it are the right-wing side. This is a pure blind spot for those of you that only sit on left channels. This is something that is, no, trust me, everything's fine type of thing. And remember, they did it with Biden. They turned around and said, don't look over here. This is you're a liar.
And it's annoying.
Else.
You know what is annoying also about it is that the right also has reported a bunch of false information, a bunch of misinformation, and that makes people on the left apprehensive to cover anything that's actually going on out there.
That would say anything bad about it.
Yeah.
And that's where it is like, don't report. It's that same fact of like reporting what somebody said, which is a lot of what our mainstream media has turned into. Is this person said this about that person? Yeah, but what's the truth?
Yeah, it feels like the tabloid kind of standard has just expanded out so much to where if you actually cite your sources and try to hold that standard, you're a real outlier in today's.
It's part of
like and subscribe, a political talk show.
It's get the quote. Like, when did journalism become, I got you to say something?
Yeah.
Like, no, this is the fact. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, we can report that you said something, but this right here is where it is.
Yeah. Gotcha journalism is evolved into gotcha politics. And
it's
we're
like
going the wrong way in a lot of ways.
It's like a TMZ type of feel to everything. It's like, of all the things millennials ruined, I think national news is.
We'll take that one. We'll eat that. Yeah, we'll eat that crow.
But yeah, if you want to read anything about the Redneck Air Force, the Blaze has something that's in there as well. I believe. Let me see. I think the Daily Post, I think, had it as well. But that's part of of what's happening around here with our divisive type of things is that they won't even Gateway Pundit. Sorry, that was who I was looking for. Western Journal as well. So, and those are considered mixed factuality and just right. But to see that nobody on the left is talking about people stepping up, because if you have to talk about people stepping up, you have to talk about the failures of why they had to step up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the blinders are on so much with this party politics that's here.
It's so annoying because it's not like are Republican representatives not involved in this either?
Yeah.
Like it works in tandem. So I don't get it's again like conflating everything that's going on in the administration with the Kamala. It's the same thing.
Because, okay, so we all want to talk about how the Republicans didn't vote for the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But nobody talks about, okay, they didn't vote for the money, so maybe FEMA is being run slow to make it appear that they should have done something with the money. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like playing politics cuts both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have these theories of why somebody did this or why it did that, especially in this election side, if you want to know who was a good politician, or at least how I judge it from there, is where's the help? We can all complain. We can all do it.
Yeah.
Like,
The easiest
trust
thing to
me,
do.
we can all complain about the weather even. And unless you are a certain group of people, you don't believe anybody controls that but the universe and God. But if you think that the earth is flat or whatever, besides the point.
Whole lot of people out there.
Where's the help? Who's helping themselves and who's helping the rest of us?
Mm-hmm.
The constituents, the country, the earth. Like, that's really where it is you can tell people who are coming to a problem with good faith and saying, hey, let me fix this, let me be a part of this in a good faith manner. And we all know who's the people that show up and do the, what you doing? Can I help? And it's like, well, we already got this. It's all good. Yeah, but I lifted a couple things back over there and twisted that twice, but fine. If you don't want it's like, it gets back to that point of who's there to genuinely help and who's there just to snag on the credit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's a lot of non-genuine actions really in politics, and yeah, like you said, it's easier than it seems to tell who's helping by records. And
that's what Mr. Rogers said. When there's a disaster, find the helpers.
Yes.
So if you think that our government, our elected leaders, the deep state, or what you think everything's going to heck in a handbasket or heck in a fanny pack.
I like that.
I think is the way I'm going to try to do it to dad it up a little bit. Well, gosh darn it, if you think that the whole world is going to heck in a handbasket,
you just got to get out there and fix it.
Well, find where the helpers are is the point. Yeah, get out there and fix it, because once you find that helper, you know who to get behind. You know who to throw energy and resources and time into. And that's my PSA for the day. I'll get off my soapboxes as we go, but it really is a pure blind spot on the left-hand side to not just recognize that this is a catastrophe. And that's really where I think that we all need to take this bipartisan approach to more of these things instead of this partisan, my team can do no wrong.
Accountability, yeah.
Look, we all make mistakes. We all have a slow jump on a lot of things. And I think that's why they're overcompensating with Milton. Now, maybe not overcompensating, but I want to say, well, they're doubling down on this this effort of pre-side of it with Milton.
Mm-hmm.
I think Helene got away from some people. And
well, also it was uncharacteristic. One of those things that's just never happened before. What reason would you have to believe that this would be different than the worst storm that's ever happened out there?
That it would run up the Appalachia. Yeah. So that's it. It's there, and I think honestly, both sides wanted to use it. I think both sides wanted to use it.
Maybe not beforehand, but afterhand, it's afterwards. You know, it's like
we need to step up and say what's the truth and what's not.
Yeah.
So the truth is, you heard it from Rich McHugh, they of News Nation, directly from the North Carolina recovery efforts, seeing more of the Redneck Air Force, which is a group of men and pilots and people who are delivering safety and also delivering goods and supplies to that area. We hope for everybody's safety over at News Nation as well. There are so many of those News Nation contributors that are in the path of Milton. We want to give a shout out to Brian Inton, Alex Caparillo, Xavier Walton, Ryan Boss, and of course our friend Brooke Schaefer, who are all in that area, and we want to make sure that they are safe. We're going to have more Apolitical Talk Show coming up at the bottom of the hour. That will be Ben taking over for that, because I got to get to school. The bell rings at 6, and I got to drive to get to. But thanks for listening over here. Again, thank you, Rich McHugh, for shining some light on the area. If you want to reach out to me or Ben, go ahead and reach out at WRMN1410.com. That's Sonar at WRMN1410.com, or Ben at WRMN1410.com. If you think Ben and I did a good job, a bad job, an okay job, well, you know what? They were on the air. Go ahead and send a message over to Mark, our program director, who's putting together some great lineups that are over here. Drop some suggestions of shows that you would like to hear. Or if you're like, hey, I need at least 5 more hours of Apolitical Talk Show, will you kind of figure out how we can get it in there? Does Sonar have to come in at 2 in the morning? We'll see. Maybe or not. More Apolitical Talk Show here on WRMN 1410 AM and WRMN1410.com after this.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Cintas. Governor J.B. Pritzker declaring the month of October Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the state of Illinois, highlighting the critical importance of early detection. Illinois residents are encouraged to utilize resources like the Illinois Breast and Cervical Cancer Program, which offers free mammograms and screenings, especially for uninsured or underinsured individuals. Nightmare on Chicago Street is returning to Elgin on October 19th, and now they've put tickets on sale on the City of Elgin social media. You can go to nightmareonchicagostreet.com to buy your tickets. The DuPage County Health Department is urging residents to get vaccinated against COVID-19, RSV, and the flu. Health officials highlighting the importance of immunizations, especially for high-risk groups such as pregnant individuals, to prevent severe illnesses and protect newborns. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted to walk up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of You downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Cintas. In Batavia, former City Alderman Dan Chanzit facing charges related to the possession of multiple drugs. The 48-year-old was arrested at his residence on People's Court, with authorities charging him with possession of methamphetamine, ecstasy, and psilocybin. Despite the charges, Chanzit claims that the drugs were not his, but belonged to two individuals staying in his home. Kane County is calling on residents to play a hands-on role in the democratic process by serving as election judges for the upcoming general election on November 5th. Clerk John A. Cunningham emphasizing the vital part these judges play in ensuring elections are run efficiently. Find out more by contacting the clerk's office. The Geneva City Council looking out for a new Ward 5 alderperson after Craig Maladra's resignation last month. Residents of the 5th Ward who meet a stringent criteria are eligible to apply for this civic role by this Friday. Applications must include a letter of interest and a statement of economic interest submitted to the city clerk. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Fat Bear Week. Everybody knows that around here. Apolitical Talk Show on 1410 WRMN. Talk of the Town, Elgin's AM radio station. Home. We're your media station, your radio station. And again, thanks so much for listening, for talking with us. We still read some comments here. We got Brendan saying, "Hi, everyone. I'm Brendan." Hey, Brendan. What's up, man? Donald Bueller saying, "Darn dog," talking about the dog stories going on earlier in Talk Time with Tammy and Friends, which is from 2 to 4. So you could listen to Talk Time with Tammy and Friends every day, 2 to 4. Get your girl talk in, and then continue to talk with us here on Apolitical Talk Show from 4 to 6 daily. And give us a like, subscribe on YouTube. We'll have a whole bunch of fun all the time, every day, at least every weekday. And we've got a great sports block on the weekend with On the Rise, and then our sports director, Marcus Mack, holding it down with the truth about Chicago sports, that is. And you could listen to those programs on Saturday mornings. So, yeah, really great. We love having the freedom of just making the program clock here for people who like a little bit of everything. You know, we've still got some Fox News programming on. For example, after this, you listen to Brian Kilmeade. How fun is that? After our show, Apolitical Talk Show, you could listen to that, which is also fun. We're not trying to tell anybody how to think or enjoy your media. Just go and do it. Hopefully you can just be focused on the issues that really matter. There are a lot of issues that, get politicized and get popularized, vote as far as going viral and things like that. So we're just in an interesting landscape where we're just inundated with so much media, but luckily we're here for you. We're here to not teach you, but to maybe save you some time. Get to the bottom of things. Think about what's the reason why these stories are in the public eye, and also give you our opinions, which may be biased towards what we think. And I like to say that we're biased towards the facts, nothing but the facts or the fats. The Fat Bear Week, an example, is a good example of the facts that we like to bring to you. So it's that time. It is that time to announce the Fat Bear of the week this year, and everyone's waiting with bated breath. I could just tell, because the chat's going crazy. The phone is ringing off the hook, and people are actually angry that I'm not talking. I haven't gotten to the bottom of Fat Bear Week yet. I just like to play some sound drops here when I can. AM radio. It is Fat Bear Week, guys. And Alaska's Fat Bear contestant winner finished ahead of the bear that killed her cub. How about that? So they had to sensationalize the story a little bit. Grazer won her second Fat Bear contest Tuesday by defeating the male behemoth that killed her cub this summer. Grazer beat Chunk by more than 40,000 votes cast by fans watching live cameras at explore.org, the Alaska Katmai National Park Reserve. Fans cast votes online for their favorite chunky competitor in tournament-style brackets that begin with 12 bears. They picked the bear they believe best exemplifies winter preparedness by the fat they have accumulated over their summer feeding on sockeye salmon that return to Brooks River. The bears often perch on the top of the falls in the river, grabbing and leaping salmon out of the air as fish attempt to hurdle the waterfall to spawn upstream. A real cool thing that we cover every year. If you're a fan of News for You, my former project, we're kind of coming back with that. We're going to start doing more locally focused news. And we'll have daily segments, in-house produced news for everybody to enjoy. So look for that next week. We also got a caller here. Is this Derica?
Yes, it's me.
Derica, how's it going? Our favorite Australian listener. How are you doing, Derica?
I'm good.
Awesome. Hey, would you do me a favor? Remind me, tell me the story of how you found us and started listening to WRMN.
I was just scrolling through YouTube, looking for any live radio stations that were on. Turns out yours was the only one that was on at the time. And so Ben was there talking. He was his turn as the radio announcer. And so I rang him up and started talking to him, and I told him I was calling from Australia, and that's how it all started.
Very cool. Yeah, well, we're glad you were scrolling YouTube. And yeah, just a reminder, we're worldwide, everybody. Go ahead and search on YouTube at WRMN Radio, like and subscribe. You can be just like Derica, listening from Australia. What's going on, Derica?
Well, I was wondering, did you hear me talking to Marky B this morning, your time, but last night, my time?
Okay. No, I missed that convo. What were you talking about?
Well, we were talking about Hurricane Milton coming, and then I told him about how they're called cyclones here. He asked me if we get tornadoes here, and we do sometimes, but we don't have a tornado alley like you guys do. But and I was telling him about Cyclone Tracy, which struck Darwin Christmas morning at dawn, Christmas morning in 1974.
Wow.
And it totally obliterated the city. It's been rebuilt since then. the houses are designed to cope with cyclones now. But, it totally nearly destroyed the whole town. There were some buildings still up, but they were damaged, and the rest were just completely knocked down, and everyone lost everything. The Christmas trees and presents, the homes, everything that they had. They had to be evacuated from Darwin just temporarily until everything could be rebuilt and replaced.
Yep. Yeah, and that's how it usually goes with storms. The storms that you remember are the ones that cause the most damage. And I mean, how could you forget on Christmas morning? Wow, that's crazy timing. So always worth bringing up and remembering the destruction and also how it brings people together. Do you remember people coming out and helping each other in the community of Darwin?
Well, I've never been to Darwin myself. I was only 5 years old when it happened, and but I've seen on YouTube videos people lining up to get bags of ice, and people would help each other out, and like when they had to be evacuated to other places around Australia, there would have been people volunteering to take families in to look after them while their homes were being rebuilt and they got all their stuff again.
Sure. Yeah. And that's what communities are there for, taking care of each other when that stuff, when it all goes down, it's, everyone wants to focus on being, divisive or media, this or that. But when, people need help, it's communities that come together. And, looking at the tornadoes that are happening in Florida, it's really interesting to see those come around, and also the storm being downgraded from Cat 5 to Cat 3. So hopefully that cuts down on some of the damage there for Florida. But yeah, I saw reports of upwards of 50 tornado watches or the conditions for tornadoes to happen. So really interesting times as far as it goes with weather. So thanks for calling in, Derica. Love always to hear from you. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Well, that's right. Well, Darwin is the capital city of the Northern Territory. It's the top middle area of Australia, and it's known as the top end.
Okay.
The very top part of Australia is called the top end. But I'll tell you a cute koala story.
Please.
To make everyone smile.
Yes.
This one was on the news just the other day. This koala went into a suburban train station, and he wandered around, and a couple of the staff members are there. They're the only ones there. There were no people waiting for trains. And the staff there, they found him, and I guess they took him to a safe area. They didn't want him to fall on the train tracks or anything, and they wanted to protect him from that. And so they found him and just took him back to a tree.
That's perfect. I love that story because we don't have koalas out here, not naturally. It being Fat Bear Week, even though koalas I know are marsupials, I think they still qualify in that bear category. So do you have any real bears out in Australia? Is that a thing?
Maybe only in zoos.
Okay.
In 1980, what was it? No. In the late 1980s, I think, 1986 or 87, I went to Sydney with my older brother, and we went to Taronga Park Zoo, and you have to catch a ferry to the zoo. And when we got there, in one area, there was the black bears.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they were in the enclosure.
Those are the ones you got to watch out for in Alaska. When I traveled up there, they told me, watch out for those, the black bears, because they're most likely to attack.
It was in 1986. It was the last week of 1986. So it was summertime here, so it's just after Christmas and just before New Year. And it was, yeah. So I spent a week in Sydney with my brother. He showed me around Sydney. He was along with his friends because he used to be in the army down there. And we went to a lot of different places. Went to Tonga Park Zoo, went to the top of Centre Point Tower, and walked across the Sydney Harbour Bridge. They didn't have a bridge climb back then, but they do now. And and there was a restaurant at the top of the Centre Point Tower. We had nice lunch. I had a real fancy chicken and salad sandwich. You had to eat it with a knife and fork.
What? Wow.
And I had a big glass of milk. And
you got a good memory there, Derek. I remember in lunch from years ago. Well, that's great. I feel like I'm going to be able to pass the Australia test with flying colors soon here, because every time we talk, I learn something new about Australia. So
yeah, it was a good trip. I wish we had stayed a bit longer. We didn't go to Bondi Beach. Missed out on that. But I did go to, there was Hyde Park in Sydney. That was nice. And there was a big church near the park, and went in there. And there was a shopping centre with big green domes on the roof. And that was nice. And yeah, it was fun. Even went to the Rocks area in Sydney and up to King's Cross, which is where the prostitutes are. And
okay.
And I was only 17. And when we were up there at the King's Cross area, I was looking around, and one of the bodyguards outside one of the strip bars, he was looking at me and grinning at me. He was wanting me to go into the strip bar. I was only 17. I wasn't old enough. And I wouldn't want to go see women strip anyway. Why would I want to look at that?
Yeah, well, you got to watch out. Got to keep your head on a swivel sometimes when you're in those metropolitan areas. There's a bunch of stuff, nefarious actors and activities and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes people are looking for that type of stuff. So very cool. You're making me want to go to Australia. I've always wanted to go to Australia. So someday I'll take that trip out there, and hopefully we could meet. Have you ever come have you ever been stateside?
No, I've never been out of Australia.
No, well, we'll have to make that initiative. People, let's start something. Let's start an initiative here. Maybe we could even meet in the middle, something like that. I don't know what the middle part of Australia and here would be, but we need to do something to get this reunion or union happening. So, Derek, as always,
I've never even been on a plane.
Yes. Oh, really? You've never been on a plane?
Nope.
Oh.
I've been in a helicopter 6 times, but I've never been in a plane.
Well, I've been in a helicopter 0 times, so you got me beat there.
Yeah, the first 2 times in a helicopter were actual joy flights.
Nice.
So they were for fun. But the other 4 times were, it was an ambulance helicopter. And it travelled from base to hospitals. And they were, because I was a bit sick, and even though they were medical ones, I still enjoyed the flight because it felt like a joy flight, even though that wasn't.
Sure. Well, glad you got taken care of, and that's something. You've never been on a plane, but you've been on 6 helicopters, so very cool. Appreciate the call, Derica. We're gonna segue to another story here about Brazil lifting the ban on X. Are you on Twitter at all, X?
No, not yet. I mean, I'm still waiting for Bradley, my son, to give me my Facebook back and my email address because he was taken since before Christmas last year to fix up my security on my phone and all that and Facebook, and he still hasn't given it back to me, and it's nearly Christmas time again.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? It's really such a time suck. It's better for you to just, you know what? Doing what you're doing is actually way better of a way to search out media. Go on, find local radio stations and really national radio stations that are YouTube doing shows, creating content on YouTube. It's the way to go. Here, let me read this story real quick, though. Brazil has lifted ban on X after Elon Musk complies with court's demands. Social platform was blocked after the tech billionaire failed to name local representatives and pay fines. So Brazilians are set to regain access to X or Twitter after a Supreme Court judge lifted a ban introduced nearly 6 weeks ago as a result of Elon Musk's failure to comply with the South American country's laws. So X was blocked in Brazil, where it had more than 22 million users at the end of August, in what was the culmination of a months-long arm wrestle between the network's billionaire owner Elon Musk and the Brazilian Supreme Court. The immediate trigger for the ban was Musk's failure to name a local representative and pay millions of dollars worth of fines. But the backdrop was a long-running and politically charged battle between the outspoken tech billionaire and Brazil's top court, which was trying to combat the dissemination of far-right misinformation and anti-democratic content on the social network. Experts and Brazilian authorities partly blame the spread of such incendiary online content for the far-right riots that rocked Brazil in January 2023. Musk, who has aligned himself with far-right figures, including Brazil's former president Jair Bolsonaro, reacted angrily at August's ban. He called one Supreme Court judge, Alexandre de Moraes, a dictator and quote-unquote Voldemort, and posted a meme of a dog dangling its doing a nefarious act at other animals in sign of a revolt. So yeah, it goes to show the worst parts of social media out there these days on Twitter and X. And what do you think, Derica? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Well, what do you think of Elon Musk? Just as a person that, I mean, I'm sure you hear of him as much as all of us do. What are your opinions on what's going on in the news cycle surrounding that guy and Twitter?
Oh, I don't know. Haven't really thought about it much.
Good. Okay, that's good news to me, because for me personally, I think I hear too much about Elon Musk when he bought Twitter. Me and my boss were talking every day about I can't, like, why do I need to hear about this story where this guy is buying a social media platform? And it really hasn't stopped since then. So it goes to show it's just annoying when people buy platforms or use things that they own to spread a certain message or really be politicized about everything. And it's interesting because I followed Elon Musk for a number of years before, and he always leaned to the left. And as soon as it went to where he can make money off something, he's magically all his opinions are on the right now. So it's one of those weird things where I just kind of wish can't we just go back to the old way it was, where everyone just used Facebook to post their what they had for dinner, pictures of their meals, and maybe talk with groups about knitting, your knitting circle, or it was like an online book club kind of thing. It used to be, and now it's just, I don't know. I think that might be a reason why it's good for you to stay off social media, Derica, because there's so much misinformation out there. A lot of fake, especially with AI now, all these fake pictures and stories and all that stuff. It can get confusing. So I think let me just say, you're listening. You're in the right place now. So again, thanks for your listenership. We're just wrapping up the show here. Any last thing you wanted to talk about, Derica?
Yeah, I mean, I have a big eucalyptus tree in my backyard. It's right near my house. It's not right next to the house, but it's near it. Unfortunately, there's no koalas in it. I wish there was.
Right.
But there isn't.
Have you heard?
And,
I have a quick joke for you.
Is Brendan still in the chat room?
Let's see. He hasn't said anything recently, but in Tammy's show, he commented. I'm sure he's listening.
Well, Brendan, if you're listening, hello to you. Greetings from Australia. I'm wondering, have you ever been over here? And I would sure would love it if you said hello to me.
Nice.
in the chat room.
Very nice. Well, yeah, we love having that communication line open for both you guys talking to us and each other. And I've in the last 2 minutes here, I've got a real good. It's an actual good dad joke here. These are not bad dad jokes. Do you know why koalas are so strong, Derica?
They eat a lot of gum leaves.
Close. It's because of eucalyptus, you're very strong. Yeah.
That's a good one.
How about it? Yeah, koalas only eat eucalyptus. So, all right. Thanks for the laugh there, Derek. I appreciate that. Well, hey, I'm going to let you go real quick and wrap up the show. Thanks again for calling. Talk to you next time.
Okay, then. I'll see you then.
All right, Derek. Talk to you soon. It's Derica, our favorite Australian caller, listener. And, she found us just searching on YouTube. How about that? At WRMN Radio. It's that simple. You go up to the little spyglass, WRMN Radio, scroll, and we're right there. How about that? We'll get some smooth jazz signifying that we are 1 minute out. And then back to the apolitical talk show theme, music. A special shout outs to Derica for carrying me limping through to the end of that show. It's Fat Bear Week. Congrats to Grazer, the fattest bear of the week, 2024. Always and forever will be remembered as such. And good luck in the future. Future Fat Bear Weeks. Fat bears out there, skinny bears. You want to bulk up? Sockeye salmon. That's what you do. Thanks for watching, listening, and interacting right here on WRMN 1410 Talk of the Town, Elgin's radio station. We'll be back tomorrow with more live programming, 6 to 6.